la 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 sisters. You know that it's good business. I love it when you kiss kiss.
Yes, and welcome to Madrid and welcome to the Madrid Urban Sports, the very first edition. And guess what? It's virtual. We have 32 riders from all over the world. We're going to travel here in today's competition. I'm sure you haven't seen this before. I certainly haven't. It is very rare. Like I said, 32 riders from all over the world. Today, we're going to start off with BMX for the men's comp. And boy, we have some incredible talent with us today. And we're also joined by some amazing co-hosts and guests, but they'll happen in just a second. The event is judged by 5 judges, and they get to choose one or the other. So the format is a bit different, but we'll get into that later. The event has started on the 11th of November, so it's been all over social media. We've sure been hearing you there. It's Urban World Series. The account and hashtag is Madrid Urban Sports. The quarterfinals have happened. You watched them there. We heard you. You voted. The semifinals happened as well, and if you're watching there, you would have seen them. We're about to go through them now and find out who of the 4 will make it to the big final, and will also crown our bronze medalist. BMX, let's do it. Let's have a little look about what we can expect for this men's BMX final today. Madrid Urban Sports, let's do it.
I make a stupid amounts. The shit is annoying to count. I hired a dude just to count. And he don't make no mistakes. Yeah, I live my life as suitcase. Yeah, smoking on a bouquet. I get no fucks what you say. I get no fucks what you think. Yeah, I make a stupid amounts. Put the shit up from the ground. I'm blowing down on a pound. Why would I ever come down? This bitch been chasing me round. Really don't matter the town. Flew him out, 2 at a time. Yeah, I got room in the house. I got a lesbian bitch out in Texas state. Fuck it, maybe they straight. That hair was great.
Oh, that hair was great, but that ass was fake. Little bitch, she went to college.
There you have it, our BMXers, and I'll be joined by none other than BMX host extraordinaire. His name is Darryl now, and that's spelled N-A-U, but it's pronounced now because he's right here, right now. Darryl, welcome to the show.
It's such an honor to be here with you today. I love the fact that we're putting on an event not only for the best riders in the world to come together, but a place for all of our fans around the world, myself included in that, to cheer on some of the best riders out there and put on one heck of an event. Big honor to be here.
We are so happy to have you, Darryl. We didn't have you for the quarterfinals, but did you watch the competition online? What did you think of it?
I did. It was awesome. We actually have that up right now on our YouTube channel. But one of my favorite parts is that I got a chance to see one of the best riders and judges out there, Ruben Alcantara, call all the shots with you. Very cool. If you haven't had a chance to check that one out, go see the whole program.
Darryl now joining us all the way from Brooklyn, New York. We're in Madrid. It's incredible that we can do this in an online format and be together, although we're on opposite sides of the world. Now, Darryl, we have a very, 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 very special guest with us today. A BMX legend in the sport. It's none other.
Yes, Maddie, that is true. And you gave me such a nice intro. I'm going to do the honors. We're talking about one of the most celebrated riders of all time. I say that because he's won 5 X Games gold medals, 4 Dew Cup champions, FIS World Series. I'm talking about the man from Caracas, Venezuela, currently living in North Carolina, Daniel Dhers. Daniel, welcome to the Urban Sports World Series.
Hello, Darryl. Hello, everyone. I'm so psyched to be here, man. Usually I'm on the other side on the contest. I'm usually in the field and I have you announced. So this is awesome for me to do, be with you basically in the booth. Although we're not in the same place, just being here digitally is amazing.
2 incredible guests with us today, Daniel Dhers and Darryl now. Let's have a look at what happened in the quarterfinals of this competition. We had 8 incredible riders today of grand caliber. I mean, there's Courage Adams on that King Corral there, just incredible.
Yeah, Maddie, we have 8 of the world's best riders. What we basically witnessed was just an all-out onslaught of the most technical riding out there. For the quarterfinals, the riders had to choose their own obstacle, and they had to include a rail in that. Now, that's open to interpretation, and as we look at some of the highlights, we can actually see right there, Julian Molina, he actually has one leg.
So
I like
impressive.
to call him a super abled, as he was able to double peg grind there. There's the Australian Lewis Mills getting technical coming off the rail. I mean, all of these tricks right now are just being pushed forward to such a level of technicality. We actually had Alex Donachie. You saw he came off that grind with the 360. And look at the long double peg grind to tail whip done by Stefan Atencio. Now, Daniel Dhers, I know that you're looking at all these tricks, especially Courage Adams coming down so fast to that 180 high speed off coming backwards. I think like one of the things that we're seeing here is technical. How does that play out as far as a street rider goes? And what does that even mean, technical street riding?
Dude, technical riding is probably the hardest aspect of BMX because you gotta be precise and you rely on your balance a lot. When you go for like a big gap or something, it's usually your capability of the trick. You basically got the one shot, so you go and send it. While with tech riding, it kind of sucks that you're able to try it so much, but that's like the beauty of it. It's just so difficult. So watching all these clips, man, it's just insane to see. I wonder how many takes did it take him to pull this stuff, because all of these tricks are definitely no joke.
So what you're saying is if you're a perfectionist, it might drive you a little bit crazy because you want to attempt to get it in a way that feels right. Well, I want to ask you this then, when it comes to street style, how important is that for a rider when they're doing street tricks?
I think in street, the beauty of street is how everyone's got their own style, difference to park. I feel like in street, all the guys ride very different from each other. I think in this format, you had everyone having to touch a rail, and you can see how they all did something different. That shows how they all have their own way of riding. Like Courage going down the triple king to 180, that's way different than what Donachie is doing here at the end. It's just, and that's, I think, the beauty of BMX. It's just like you're able to do whatever and give it your own touch. It's like creating art, you have your own style of art.
Well, I think the words that you said, do whatever, when we see you ride in a park comp, you definitely do that and you create art. I'm going to say the same for Courage Adams on the street right there. Obviously, a double peg grind, you're grinding on the one side. You might say, well, how much style can you put into that? When we watch Courage go down, he puts a lot, because you are going almost full speed out of that double kinked rail. At the bottom, he gets the 180. Your momentum is going down into the ground. He's able to get his back wheel around and then spin extremely smooth on the front end. That's why Courage was unanimously awarded that spot from our judges out there. It is all about the style.
Absolutely.
We're seeing a different version of the style, though, from Donachie, as he was really smooth on that 360 dismount out of the manual. So the style, the technical aspect, and then also, like Daniel said, you got to be perfect in your execution because we're filming this as opposed to a live event.
I mean, absolutely. We have so much to say about these 8 talented riders here at the quarterfinals, Madrid Urban Sports. Let's have a look at how the bracket finished and who will battle head-to-head for the semifinals. There you have it. It's Donachie and Adams and Mills and Kruk. We're going from Australia to the USA. They'll battle it out for a spot at the final, and then we will battle it out for 3rd place too. Now, before we head to the semifinals, we have 5 incredible judges here with us today. Well, they've made their scores. Here we have a look at the judges.
Yeah, Maddie, these judges are all legends in their own right. Every BMXer right now is going, oh my gosh, these are the riders that are given the score. Because we have our Spanish judge, Ruben Alcantara. He helped redefine the sport of BMX many times with his video parts where he focused on different styles, wild rodeo grinds, and wall rides. We also have the legend Van Homan, who not only did the same of redefining burly street riding in the late 90s and early 2000s, but he's working with the Olympic Committee right now for the sport. We have Joe Rich, who not only is a pioneer of BMX street rider, things to note, first ever gap to second stage grind and 180 backwards rail. Those are both 2 feathers in his cap. We got the New Jersey legend Garrett Burns, who also helped redefine style as well. Little fun contest fact here. First rider to ever win a park comp with no pegs on his bike at the Goodwill Games back in the year 2000. And last but not least, our local judge, Jamie Sala, who is very instrumental in the Paradise BMX Park opening up. So he's been instrumental in the scene in Spain. These 5 riders are going to be giving their opinion, their judging, and they're saying what rider is going to advance into the next round. Daniel, you've ridden so many contests throughout the years. How important are the judges and the judges that are picked for an event?
Man, that's probably the most important part, you know. It's the part that everybody loves to hate. I don't ever want to be a judge because it's definitely a tough position, man. Like, it is very hard to compare like that high level of riding. When we're at the big contest, usually, you know, you obviously don't want anyone to fall or make mistakes, but it gotten so crazy that you're almost at that point where like, okay, who did what mistake? Because the riding is just so elevated, and you know, you obviously have your preferences in riding, but it's tough. You can never deny when someone did something hard or when someone did something stylish or like a big gap. And, you know, like I said, it's the part that everyone loves to hate because it is tough. And, you know, it's obviously where you have controversies. So having good judges is probably the most important part of the contest, because although there might be some controversy at some point, I think when everybody's, you know, sits down cold and think about it and talk about it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, those judges were right. And, you know, as a rider, that's what you want to see. You know, like, it's tough, but you definitely want to build some trust with the judges. And again, like I said, it's probably the most important part.
Exactly, and those are our 5 judges that will join us here today. They judged from home. Let's have a look at today's format. It's quite different. It's unique. They were 8 riders battling head to head. Each rider had to do a best trick in a selected spot. We saw quarters. It was for rail. Semifinals we're going to see today. It's going to be for the balance trick. The big final and the battle for third place, will be the gap as well. Those 5 judges that we saw on screen there will make their decisions. Should we get into it? Let's get into the first semi-final, shall we? Here we go. Here it is, back to back. I mean, guys, what do our audience have to know about the caliber of these riders that we have here today?
Yeah, Maddie, this is exciting because the format is head-to-head. It's not a numeric value that you might see at another contest. So essentially, the riders didn't know who they were going to be competing up against, so they're going to have to bring their A game. Like Daniel said earlier, they're actually out videotaping one of their trick selections. They got to choose, so we're going to see originality, difficulty of trick come into play, that thing we talked about, style. And we're going to see which rider chose. So these now went from 8. We cut the pack down to 4, and we're talking about 4 of the best. If it's going to be anything like our quarterfinal in the semifinal, it's going to be technical. It's going to be also bringing in the burliness like that kink rail that Courage did. But I'm going to revert to you, Daniel. What do you think it's going to take for a rider to advance from the semifinal into the final?
Man, it's tough, especially if you don't know who you're competing against. It's definitely difficult. So what I like from that is that these guys are going to choose what they feel is their best riding. And you can never beat that, man. Like, whenever you film something or you do a trick at a contest, if it's something that you wanted to do, that's what BMX is all about. So I'm actually very interested to see what these guys chose because, dude, they're so good. They probably have 1,000 clips they're sitting on, and they're like, okay, what do I choose? You know, it's especially if you don't know who you're going against. So yeah, man, this is gonna be an interesting one.
It sure is. There you have it. You have the Scotsman versus Nigerian Spanish, and we'll have the Australian versus the American. Shall we get into our first semi-final? Here we go. We have Courage Adams and Alex Donachie. Let's see it.
losing accounts. Hey, I'm a young boss in my state, yeah, so I gotta stay in my town. Hey, I think
Daniel, you called it perfection. That's what we saw out of both of those riders. Throw in the tech combo. Donachie out there, so crazy to think. Well, let's take a look right here. Courage Adams up on that front wheel, getting the nose manual on both shelves, then throwing the bars to the back end manual, coming off backwards, and then getting that 540 cab around. Now, as we look at Donachie, things to note, that's his opposite side. He does a toothpick grind on the front peg, jumps up into a feeble grind, as he then goes off the ledge with the 360, lands manual, nose bonks on his regular side, the signpost, and then lands manual and comes out. Those are tongue twisters. But Daniel, what do you think of that crazy 2020 perfection?
Dude, I'm like, I would be so stressed if I had to judge this because this was amazing, dude. Like, I really love how you say, like, Donachie just play with his opposite side. That's like, for the people that don't know, would be like a baseball player, like pitching with their wrong hand or their other hand. But I love that finishing touch where he toothed the little post, the little sign. That was amazing. But then you see Courage, who does a nose manual, and then he hops up from the nose manual and continues to do that, and then down to the bar Manny 180 fakey cab 3. Like, dude, this is insane. And I love, like, that Courage is amazing at nose manuals. And at first I was like, well, he's going to do a very long one, but he just totally went up there. He's like, you know what? I'm going to hop from my front wheel and continue my front wheel. And I'll see you guys later.
Absolutely.
Yeah, now, Daniel, something to think about here. The judges, as far as the criteria for this semifinal goes, the riders weren't given much info. Balance is the name of the game for this semifinal. Courage definitely balanced on his back and front wheel. So that's key to note. He not only then also threw the bar spins, but then he had the balance for that 540 cab where he came around. But Donachie, watch after he hits the sign. He hits that sweet spot with the backwards manual. So he got extremely technical. He had the balance manual out of the 360 from the grind. And then to me, the thing that really defined the control of Alex Donachie's riding was after hitting that street sign on his regular side with the front peg, he had that backwards manual and perfectly spotted the curb and came off. So we're seeing the utmost technical riding from two different riders, two different styles, but definitely giving it their own unique flavor.
There you go. There you had it. Darryl said it. Balance is the name of the game. Let's see what the judges had to think of this first semifinal men's BMX competition. Here we go. Donachie, Adams, they can pick one or the other. Like you said there earlier, it's not numeric. Here we go. Wow. All right. I mean, pretty much Courage for everyone, right?
Wow, so Courage right there taking a sweep across the board. All five judges are in unison, thinking that Courage's nose manual on both shelves, bar spin to back wheel manual to 180 to 540 out off the ledge, was going to take it unanimously over Alex Donachie.
We had just Ruben Alcantara with Donachie on for the balance there. Is that pretty predictable? Is Courage generally much stronger within the balance category?
You know what, Maddie? That's a really difficult thing to call because, as Daniel said early, this event isn't necessarily like a live contest where you have one shot to hit the bullseye and the target. Donachie has actually done that before. In 2018 Sydney X Games, he got himself a gold medal. So he's been able to do that in a contest. Courage Adams, when it comes down to the pressure and the consistency, earlier this year, he did get 5th at Simple Session, which is one of his higher finishes in a contest. But as far as being able to be consistent, I don't know. What do you think, Daniel?
Dude, it's tough. I feel like there's no wrong here choosing between the two guys. I can see that, I think what was harder on Courage's side was definitely going nose manual up the shelf, continuing nose manual. That I never seen that. It's definitely tough. What I liked from Donachie was he got that originality to it. Not saying that Courage was not original, but that tooth on the post was unexpected. And then he continued reverse manual cap out. So like it is tough, man. I can see again why they would choose Courage. but I don't think there was a wrong pick here because they
And it
were
will
very creative.
exactly, Daniel, and it will be Courage Adams that will progress on to the final. Congratulations to him. Let's have a look now at our second semifinal. It's Kruk versus Mills. We're going from Australia to the USA. Let's see them.
Hop in a whip and I'm out. I need so much I can count. Oh, and I don't need no college, cause I'm getting stupid amounts. Hey, hop in a whip and I'm out. I need so much I can count. Oh, and I don't need no college, cause I'm getting stupid amounts. Yeah, I'm getting stupid amounts. Hey, so much that I'm losing the counts. Hey,
Wow. All right, Daniel. So we're seeing two different riders. As Maddie said, different sides of the globe. They're both titans of street. They each have their own signature frames. We got Kruk with We the People, Mills with Fiend. They came together in this semifinals, both choosing very different styles of the interpretation of balance. You saw Mills put together a long technical combo where he balanced on his back wheel, and Kruk took his definition with that feeble grind where he wound up having to balance on the ledge. What were your initial thoughts, Daniel?
Dude, again, tough one because they're both were so different, you know. I really enjoyed the high-speed manual to high-speed, you know, manual 180 bar. But, you know, with Kruk doing the long feeble, it's crazy because it looks simple, but it is actually kind of hard to hold a feeble for that long. Just because, like, the bike wants to, like, get out of the, it wants to, like, shoot out. So not only he stayed there for a long time, he also whipped out. You know, it's tough. Just, again, it's different. It's kind of hard to compare apples to oranges here. But it is good to see how they have different styles. You know, they come from different continents and they saw balance as a whole different thing.
Yeah, we want to also, Maddie, forgive me, I just want to also throw in here before we hear from the judges. Kruk definitely had the bar spin in and the tail whip out, two street staples, but hard to do on a ledge like that. I think the reason that he really showed that he was waxing it down as well, that's just a really harsh ledge to try to get your grind and find your balance point on there, but he kept his front wheel. And then with Mills, take a look one last time at this high-speed manual. He locks in perfectly, gets the bunny hop bar spin across the gap, and then comes around with perfect execution of the 180 bar spin, both clean and crispy. But I got to say, Mills right there just really had the precision of when to have both of those hops and pulled it together nice and smooth.
Absolutely, Darryl. I mean, two beautiful riders. They're beautiful videos. I love that we just get to travel with this new online format. Let's see what the judges had to say on this second semifinal. Will it be Kruk or will it be Mills that will progress against Courage in the big battle for the final? There you have it. It's Mills all the way, all 5 judges for Mills on the balance. Are we surprised with that result?
There you go. Australia across the board right there. That was the sweep that we saw for Mills. That's an exciting thing. And one thing to note as we get ready to go into our finals, Daniel, how important do you think the interpretation of the different, rail, balance, gap, how important do you think that plays as far as the creativity goes and what the judges look for in each one of those categories?
What I like of having different categories is that it shows an overall rider. You know, I think within BMX and street, park, flatland, I feel like you kind of choose the one thing you're really good at, and then you like extend and build upon that. So it is cool to see that, you know, you kind of need to be good at everything. It's not like, hey, you are really good in balance and you can like basically push through the whole competition with doing balance tricks. It's like, okay, you gotta be good on the rail, you gotta be good at the gaps, you gotta be good in balance, and it makes it tough and it makes it interesting. As like me watching the event, I love that I'm able to see different riding. I know that it's not gonna get repetitive. I know these guys are gonna try different stuff, and I'm gonna get to see how good they are in different aspects of street riding. So I think it's awesome.
And there you have it. It's gonna be Courage and Mills. They're gonna battle head to head for the final. Let's have a look at this updated bracket. All right, there it is. It's Adams and Mills that will battle head to head for the big final. But before we get into that, we need to decide who will take third place. There you have our two riders, Donaki and Kruk for third place. I mean, this is it, guys. What do we have to say about this last battle for third?
All right, Daniel, I want to know your thoughts before we see this go down. We've got the Scotsman, Alex Donaki. As I said, he's won a gold medal before. He's got some of the most technical and progressive combinations. We've already seen him utilize grinds on both sides of his bike, the back wheel 360 to manuals, but we have Dan Kruk, who really had that powerful double peg up to 180 tail whip in our quarterfinal. He's also a street heavyweight. He's got his signature frame. He's been pushing himself. He's in the zone. What do you think it's going to be before we get a chance to witness the riders?
Yeah, I think it's got to be tough. I think Donaki definitely got the experience, winning big events, and like he knows what he needs to do. I think Dan, he's more like the underdog. He's coming in, he's hungry, he's been doing gnarly stuff for a while. So, it's going to be, I think it's going to come down to the motivation. Like, what is going to motivate you to try to, get a better position? So I'm interested, man. Again, it's just two different styles. Donaki is always a bit more techy. I think Dan is always a bit more jumpy, to say it like that. So I'm interested, man. It's gotta be sick.
It's gonna be a close one. Here we have it, Alex and Dan. Let's see these guys battle it out for third place.
So much I can't count. Oh, and I don't know college, cause I'm getting stupid amounts. Hey, hop in a whip and I'm out. I need so much I can't count. Oh, and I don't need no college, cause I'm getting stupid amounts.
Well, there we have our two riders with their own interpretation of the word gap. They are going head to head. Let's take a look. Dan dropping in off the roof and then does a truck driver. That's a 360 bar spin to flat right there. He grabs the bars. And here's Donaki keeping things across the gap of the street. He does a 180 bar spin. And the thing to note is that he lands backwards, but his cranks don't necessarily engage. He's got the new BSD Revolution coaster on, which is enabling him to do that. He gets a hop clean 180 coming out. Very interesting, Daniel. Both riders chose to do a spin with a bar spin. Dan Kruk coming off a roof onto a ledge onto flat. He did the 360 version, and Donaki does a 180 bar spin. What are your thoughts?
See, and this is exactly what I was saying, how Donaki is a bit more tech. He, even on the gap, he's adding tech, like trying to land fake at that speed. You mess up, you're going to end up like shredded cheese. And Dan, he just went burly. He was like, you know what? I'm going to give it this. I'm going to do a big banger. And if I die, I die.
I mean, both riders pulling out some huge gaps here for third place. Let's see what the judges had to say for this one and who will be crowned with the bronze medal. Here we go, Donaki and Kruk. Oh, there we go. 5 judges. Unanimous decision.
Wow, they're speaking across the board. So, Maddie, the gap off the roof onto the ledge to flat definitely spoke louder than Alex Donaki. But we do want to give Donaki props. He did go fast, as Daniel said. You actually saw that initial pedal where he's putting on a little bit of a speed sprint to that gap 180 bar spin. I personally like Donaki's because it was a little bit, remind me of the New York City street flavor where you jump across streets like that. But Dan Kruk today came out on top with that truck to flat. Daniel, what do you think? Was that a well-deserved sweep?
I think, again, this whole competition, I don't think you have been able to choose a wrong pick. Like Dan right here, just doing a truck driver of like a roof, dude, it's just no joke. Because if you mess up, you're not going home and sleeping sweet that night. You could end up in the hospital. And, Donaki, I think he used the gap aspect as like, okay, I'm going to jump long. But like I said, yes, I think it came down to risk factor. The 180 bar, I think it has a bit more tech than the gap aspect, although he's jumping over a street, which is gnarly. I just think the truck over, jumping from a roof, it's just no joke. It's not something you want to try over and over and over, you know. So yeah, for that, man, he went big.
He went big, and congratulations to Dan. He took the bronze medal. Now, before we head to the big final, let's take a moment and dive deep into the sport of BMX, because we have one of the best in the game with us today, Daniel Dhers. And we really just want to hear from Daniel about the current climate of BMX throughout this whole context of 2020, heading into the Olympic year, a global pandemic. I mean, Darryl, it's just been a wild year for BMX, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very big disruption for every rider, everybody on the planet, let's face it. But Daniel, as you being one of the top competitors, we know that this is the first time BMX was supposed to be in the Olympics. For the last year and a half, there's been a points race. You've been traveling the world to almost every competition out there. And then all of a sudden, the traveling e-brake was pretty much pulled. What's your last 6, 7, 8 months been looking like in the world of Daniel Dhers?
I think my last 6 months have been very, very similar to everyone's, not a lot of traveling. Luckily, there were a couple events this last few months. I got to go to Croatia in August, and then I went to Italy in October, and I just came back from Barcelona, the Barcelona Extreme a couple weekends ago. And, you know, it's crazy. It's different. You know, the world's changed at the moment. As a competitor, it's definitely tough, like sitting around for so long, especially when we knew the biggest show was about to happen. And then it was like, oh, hey, no show. See you guys next year. And it's crazy because you gotta stay motivated for an extra year, which, you know, I think because it is the first time going to the Olympics, a lot of the guys and the girls are definitely in that mindset, like, hey, I gotta stay focused, like the big show is coming. But it's tough, man. It definitely takes a toll on you when you're like ready for something and then they move the finish line, you know, further away.
Yeah, I could see that being an additional challenge, right? Because it's like, as an athlete, you're always keeping your blade extra sharp. And now it's one of those things where you're hurry up and wait. You don't know when you have to get back in the metaphoric ring, so to speak, for your next competition. But for a lot of people that have had the opportunity, I know I'm looking, it's on the top of my list to go down and visit you in the Carolinas. You have your own skate park down there. Have you been home getting a chance to ride during this time?
Yeah, man, I never stopped riding. Even right at the beginning of the pandemic, like I live a mile from my park. And at first, a lot of the pro guys and girls that are going to the Olympics live here. So we all basically made a pact, like, hey, let's not go outside, let's not get ourselves in jeopardy, and let's continue riding. Especially because at first, you know, the Prime Minister of Japan was like, hey, the Olympics are happening no matter what. So we all panicked as like, hey, we need to keep training. And at first, it was, I guess, a blessing in disguise, man, because with so much traveling, I think none of us really had time to sit down and look at our riding. I was like, okay, what do we want to learn? Because usually you have to, like, you practice, but you have a contest soon, so you don't want to get hurt or too hurt. And once you are done with that event, you come home, you don't rest much, you have to go to the next event. So at first, I think it was actually good. Everybody got to like work on the stuff that they wanted to. And right now, you know, I think everyone's kind of just going a day at a time. It's like, I think the biggest question is, what are the contests going to look like next year? You know, are there going to be many events? Once there are events, are they going to be, how different are they going to be? Going to Barcelona was very different, you know, from our usual event. You have crowds. Now there were nothing. And, you know, the whole protocols to go in the events and everything, it's very interesting. And I think everyone is kind of intrigued on what is it going to look like next year. So right now we keep riding, having a good time with our bikes, and, you know, keep getting ready. At least we get more time to practice more, right?
I think everybody's waited with bated breath to see what's going to entail the next year. But for right now, I know that you're in Greenville, and a big reason why a lot of riders are there. One of the other most celebrated riders in BMX, I'm talking about the late, great Dave Mira. He not only is one of your biggest influences, but he actually set his roots in Greenville, and a lot of other riders moved there. Specifically around 15 years ago, it was kind of the mecca if you were a pro rider, and then it wound up kind of fading out for a little bit. But with your park and all these other Olympic athletes there now, does it kind of feel like the glory days of Greenville are back?
It's similar. It's not the same, but it's crazy you mentioned that because today I was riding in the morning and I went to my car to grab a shirt and I look at all the cars and I was like, dude, this is what the Animal House used to be. Like you open the door and you have all the main riders' cars outside and like, you know, it brought back a good memory and good feeling. You know, things are obviously not the same from that era, but it is good to see like the new generation got their own thing going on. And, you know, kind of, I'm obviously in the older part of probably the previous generation. So it is good to see how they are treating BMX like, you know, I think we got good instruction from the BMX gods and we try to keep it alive the same way they did. And it is good, man. I'm psyched to watch these guys ride and just progress. That's, I think, at the end of the day, why we came to North Carolina. And I like to see that spirit carries on.
Well, I have to say, you're definitely making Dave proud by having your facility and having it open to all other riders out there. I think that's something really special. And not only are you a champion, but you're also leading by example for the future generations and also your friends. So that's something very, very cool to see.
Definitely.
Maddie, I know that we got our event going on and we're getting ready for our big final coming up. Who are our riders going to be?
Definitely, and it's so great to hear from these two. I mean, if we left them here, they could talk for hours. I'm sure you can hit them up by themselves. That's Darryl now and Daniel Dhers. But now it's time for our big final. We're going head to head. It's Lewis Mills from Australia and Courage Adams. He lives here in Madrid, but he's a Nigerian native. Courage and Lewis, guys, what can you tell us about where these young riders are currently at? What stage in their careers?
Yeah, Maddie, this is a big final, head-to-head. Two of the best riders. I know you just said different sides of the world. Courage currently lives in Spain. He's so technical. He actually has such a cool Instagram. You could follow him at Courage Adams, where he puts together some of the most technical, jaw-dropping lines, similar to what we saw in the semifinal, but usually throw 10 more tricks on or after. He defies logic every time. Really exciting rider to watch. It's going to be interesting because, as Daniel said earlier, he has an opportunity to film lines and pick things. So I can't wait to see what he chose. He can go big as well. But Lewis Mills has been on an awesome tear for the last few years. Like in Sydney 2018, one of his first pro contests, he entered Street X Games. He got himself a silver medal in front of his home crowd. It was such a special moment. The place went absolutely nuts cheering him on. And since then, he's picked himself up some great sponsors, vans. He's also working with Garrett Reynolds' company, Fiend Signature Bike, and he's been pushing his riding. So these really are two heavyweights of modern day 2020 street riding. Daniel, I want to ask you, we've seen the quarters, we've seen the semis. What do you think it's going to take for either of these guys to bring for our final?
Oh, man, they're going to have to put their soul into this because, like you said, they're both incredible riders. And I know Courage has so much stuff going on when he rides. Like, all his tricks are just so well polished. And anytime he posts a line, like especially when you talk about his Instagram, all this stuff he puts there is gold. And dude, Lewis, what I like about him is that he doesn't hold back. He just goes in and he's like, this is it. I'm not going to have many chances at this. I'm going to go hard. And so I'm interested to see what's going to happen here because, again, two amazing riders, and I know they're not going to disappoint.
Here we go. Two young guns there about to battle it out for the final spot. Men's BMX. Let's see what they have to offer us. Here we go.
Wow, two big haymakers and both of them connecting with the streets right there. Daniel, what are your initial thoughts?
Dude, my stress just shot through the roof watching this, man. Both of them just say, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to live, and just jump the biggest thing they could find. This is nuts, man. I think, I think Courage got this one because he did truck over the rail. So you're blind there for a second, which is insane. But like I said, Mills was not going to hold back, man. These guys are insane. Someone call their mother, please.
Wow, two huge interpretations of the gap. Darryl, we want to hear what you have to say, but first, we need to see what the judges, and we have a drum roll here for the judges' decision. It's Adams or Mills. Who will it be? We have Ruben Alcantara, who will vote first. Let's see. Oh, wow. There you have it. There you have it. I mean, Darryl, you were about to say, I'm sure you're not surprised by this one.
No, not at all right there. Courage Adams, you see the name in bold caps lock right there. I think they bumped the font up. Well-deserved, coming in first place. That was an enormous truck driver. Let's take a look. He pedals full speed into the stairs, 360 barspin. He has to thread the needle between the wall and that rail, making sure that he doesn't hit either of them as he rotates. You see he throws the bars going past the rail, catching it smoothly with a tuck and landing down on the street. Now, I know everyone out there at home is going to be pausing and saying, how many stairs did he go? That was 6 stairs down flat and then another 3 and 3. So that is 12 stairs total. That was crazy. And the style by Courage, you saw halfway through, he was able to catch the bars and bring the bike forward. But I don't want to take away from his competitor out there. Lewis Mills, really technical on this gap. He did a bunny hop bar spin up to an extremely short stage and then a hop over a rail, which was also a big 12-stair gap coming down. You cannot overstress how difficult that short stage is to get that hop, because you throw the bars, you got to set up quickly and then be able to utilize your strength to get over the rail. Both of these riders were extremely high risk, high reward for these tricks. They both pulled them flawlessly, but Courage Adams came out on top.
Absolutely, and two beautiful interpretations of the gap there. But as you said it, Darryl, Courage came out on top, unanimous decision by the judges, and we have a big surprise. Courage is joining us live right now. We have the winner of the first Madrid Urban Sports virtual competition on the phone with us today, Courage Adams. Courage, thank you so much for being here today. How does it feel to win a virtual competition? That was a huge gap for that last final.
The first thing, thank you guys for everything. I'm really, really happy, really stoked. For me, it's a pleasure to have been part of such a cool project like this. For me, this year was like something new. And I think, I don't know, I mean, it's like a different way to like keep going and keep like trying to improve in BMX. And yeah, I'm really happy how everything comes out and how everything works out. Can't wait to let my friend Rafa to know that we did it. I don't know. I'm so happy. Thank you guys. Thanks to the judges, and thanks for the organization for all. I'm so happy. Thank you so much.
Darryl, huge smile on your face. What are you thinking there? And congratulations again, Courage.
Courage, it's so good to see you, my man. I've missed you. And seeing you on top of the podium in first place at the Urban World Series, congratulations.
Thank you, Darryl. Thank you.
Now, I want to know, as a fan of yours, along with all the riders at home, we see you on Instagram post these mind-blowing combinations and links on the daily. If you're not following, follow at Courage Adams. But I got to ask you, when this event happened for the Urban World Series, knowing that it was also a video contest, you also film a lot. What was your approach or your mindset like when you sat down to start filming or work on this project?
I don't know. I mean, this year has been so weird, so I just say like, let's do it. Let's try it. Yeah, let's just try to keep going, to keep the motivation up, and I don't know. Let's see what will happen. Well, I don't know. That's one of like my purpose when all this matter about the virus came out. So I think I'm doing well. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Definitely.
you chose awesome obstacles for this. Were these all your first choices, or did you film other tricks and these are the ones you submitted? What was that process like?
Yeah, I did all like I don't know, for I think a month. We were filming a month around here in Madrid. It wasn't easy because I took like some bad crash filming, for example, the gap and the rail. The rail was super hard. But I don't know, that was like, we was like, let's do it in Madrid, and let's see what could happen. But yeah, it was like everything rolls up really, really cool. Not easy.
Definitely. I'm encouraged a young Madrileño rider who will take the crown at Madrid Urban Sports. I mean, Daniel, rider to rider, you must have something to say here.
Kurt, that was insane. I saw the bunny hop whip over the chain. I was like, okay, that's a nice start. And then you start cranking, but you weren't like trying to max out your speed. You were like cranking. All of a sudden, it's like, he's picking up speed. What is he gonna jump? And dude, I like, congratulations, obviously, on winning the event. But dude, more congratulations on pulling that gnarly trick. That was insane.
Thank you, Daniel. Really appreciate it coming from you. Thank you.
Oh man, well deserved, dude. That's great riding, dude. I love your riding.
you.
Just always putting in the work, and you know, hard work pays off, man. So again, congratulations.
Thank you, gracias.
Maddie, I got to ask Courage this while we have him on the line. Courage, that truck driver over the railing, it looked like you were taking off from like cobblestone bricks and landing. Was that a hard run up because you were also so narrow between the wall and the rail? What was the setup like to go for the winning final trick?
I don't know. I mean, at the beginning, I thought it was gonna be like more easy, but when I get to the spot, I was like, oh my god, this is not gonna be like I thought. I did like a couple of times without the bar spin, and the thing was like the gap was super long, and it was super hard to throw the bar spin with the speed that I was going. I don't know. The first bar spin I did like how I did it. I did like a bit sketchy because I thought I was going to die. Seriously, it was like, I don't know. But I don't know how does he work out, but I'm really stuck that I got it. I was really, really stuck because I was super scary at the moment that I was there trying it.
There you go, Courage, and thank you so much. Sorry, Darryl, I think you had another question for you, but we need...
It was just, it was exciting seeing that speed as you went over the rail, and it's interesting to say, and I think everybody around the world, sketchy was actually smooth and stylish.
Right.
Your back end dipped, your front end went right up over the rail, and you landed perfectly coming around. I gotta say, that was such a cool big trick, and we thank you for bringing that to our final right there.
Thank you.
For sure. Courage, thank you so much for joining us live today, and congratulations again on winning on your home soil. It's goodbye for Courage Adams today. It's so great to have the young champion there. That was it, guys. What a final, and what a guy. Courage is the name, and it surely suits with that last gap. It was incredible.
Yeah, Maddie, Courage, well-deserved win right there. We saw him work his way through the quarterfinal. He had that big kink rail to 180. We then saw in the semifinal, he had that nose manual balance on the different stages. As Daniel said, he had to use his upper body to hop up, then get the bar spin, then the 180, then the 540, which then set him up perfectly for that big truck to take the top spot over Lewis Mills in the final. Courage, you are a beast of a rider, one of the best street riders in the world, showing you why with the first place out here at our Urban World Series. So cool to see him get that top spot, Daniel.
Dude, it was so insane. I'm still mind blown. Like, I was just thinking, because the rail, it's not like the rail is very low. The rail was kind of even from where he took off. So he had to go fast. And then, like, as you can see in the clip, like, you know, trying to protect his front wheel, because if he touches the front wheel, that's it. There's goodbye month. And then, dude, it looked like he was going to clip his back peg. And, you know, he missed it. And it was just perfect. The whole clip was perfect. And how you said, like, all the things leading up to the finals, you know, he showed he's the better rider. He was able to do a little bit of rail, a little bit of balance, and I don't want to say a little bit of gap. Everything was perfect. All of his clips were gnarly, man. So, yeah, again, congratulations to Courage, man. That was amazing.
Definitely. Congratulations to Courage, and thank you to these two magnificent human beings, extraordinary characters in the world of BMX. Mr. Darryl now and Mr. Daniel Dhers, thank you so much for being here today. Goodbye and see you very soon. Hope to see you next year in the physical event of Madrid 2021. Now let's take a look at the podium. That was it for the men's BMX competition, and this is what the podium looked like. We had Dan Kruk of the USA take the bronze medal. We had Lewis Mills of Australia take the silver, and the man himself, you saw him there, Mr. Courage Adams, he's a local guy. He won on his home soil. It's the very first edition of this competition. A big win for him. Congratulations to all three of those men's BMX. Now, before we carry on with the competition, we have something very exciting for you today. It's the first round of the freestyle battle. It's something I've been waiting around all day for. Here you have it.
Puedes definirme como un estudiante de danza, pero también soy arquitecta y kickboxer. Y quiero una app que sea como yo, que además de ayudarme a gestionar mi dinero, me ofrezca mucho más, con la que pueda disfrutarlo todo con mis amigos, hasta llevar las cuentas de la cena del sábado, y sin necesidad de tener una cuenta bancaria. Descárgate la app y descubre el nuevo Imagine.
Muy buenas, ¿qué tal estáis? Soy Eude, me presento, vengo de parte de Urban Rooster, estamos aquí en Madrid Urban Sports Virtual. Ya sabéis que este año teníamos que haberla liado, tenía que haber un evento, pero bueno, estamos con el COVID, hay una pandemia mundial y estamos aquí representando. Vamos a hacer un poquito una batalla de freestyle de la FMS, la Liga Profesional de Freestyle. Os iré explicando un poco lo que vamos a hacer. Antes de nada quiero presentar a mi hombre DJ Phoenix, está en los platos. ¿Qué tal, hermano? Y tengo aquí a dos competidores, tengo por un lado a Mr. Ego, ahí está, y tengo por otro lado a Mark. Y lo dicho, vamos a hacer una pequeña batalla de exhibición para que veáis en qué consiste esta disciplina. Lo primero va a ser conocerles, así que por favor cámbiame la base DJ Phoenix. Y quiero que desde casa todo el mundo dé calor a mi hombre Mark. ¿Qué tal, hermano? Y freestyle puro ya al momento. Se lo damos en 3, 2, 1, tiempo.
Me ha tocado el minuto de presentación para que toda la peña bien conozca a este cabrón. Soy ese rapper que lo hace con sensación y que siempre disfruta cuando se escribe una canción. Yo empecé bien tranquilo, con estilo versátil, no practicando easy modes en la pantalla de un portátil. Rapeaba en la calle y me encontraba con Mr. al parque y hacíamos un rap que aquí te parte, aquí y allí, da igual donde vayas, en Madrid capital, nunca tiraban la toalla. Estos dos cabrones se daban tralla y se insultaban y usaban a los raperos como sus cobayas. será un laboratorio de rimas, un crematorio, un cementerio. Encima, en la tarima es obvio. Estoy rapeando como quiero en el escenario. Yo no cambio ni por oro ni denarios. Me quedan más, no has dicho 3, 2, 1, pero bueno, ¿qué más da? Aquí somos unos sudados, pero cuando rapeamos, nos lo curramos y llegamos al final.
¡Tiempo! ¡Tiempo! Allá está mi hombre Mark, de lujo, hermano. Fénix, cámbiame la instrumental. Y por otro lado tenemos a uno de los representantes de Madrid, que actualmente está en la FMS, la Liga Profesional. Tenemos al señor Mr. Ego.
Rap.
¿Qué tal, hermano?
Rap, bro.
Díselo. Presentación. Mr. Ego, se lo damos en 3, 2, 1, dámelo.
Yo soy el flow, soy la experiencia de cualquier parte. De esos estilos que pilla el micro y te parte. Has visto cómo aplico estas técnicas de combate. Yo he estado en el parque más de 10 años representando tu under. Ese que tú ves por la tele cuando ves que fluyo. A mí me da igual, chaval, soy el Maraja y lo destruyo. Yo soy de esos que tienen orgullo, que yo no pierdo al juego. Digo que el juego es suyo y me lo quedo. Has visto cómo te manejo, te la marcaré de lejos. Soy callejón, has visto yo me despejo. Mi sistema métrico es complejo, pero me dijo a mí mismo que me quedara en viejo. Estuve con el Mark repartiendo arte como si fuera KCO, pero casi que nadie me parte. Yo traigo estilos para ti, pa' tu bidón. Yo traigo almidón pa' todos los parques. Este es mi don y se te reparte, bro. Has visto cómo parte la última. Me da igual, yo tengo rima explícita en la tarima. Es más lúdica, más lo que tú quieras en este videojuego. Patrocina la skin de Valorant por Mr. Who.
Tiempo, mi gente. Ya está Mr. Ego. Mark, por favor. Va a empezar la batalla. Ahora sí, ya nos hemos presentado todos. Ahí chocaron, que se vea que hay competición sana. Os explico. Ahora va a haber un easy mode. Eso quiere decir que le vamos a poner palabras cada 10 segundos para que ellos improvisen con la palabra que aparece en pantalla. Mister, ¿estás listo?
All right.
Perfecto. Fénix.
Diga, billota.
Sí. La primera ya sabes. Sí. La primera se baila. A ver. Sí. Se lo damos en 3, 2, 1. ¡Tiempo!
What up, Sean? Ha venido Mr. Ego, el rey de la colisión. El coloso es horroroso. Yo tengo la destrucción. Desde mi baño puedo destrozar su habitación. Colisión coloso desde el inicio. Me da igual tener que perder mis finales por mis principios. Es así, tengo mi batería de litio. El inicio de Devil Jean es así. El skill del precipicio que te suelta. Mi flow es la respuesta. Has visto cómo vengo y este se expande. Soy el mejor del under. Ahí pones skate. Joder, yo traigo el combate. No tenemos manillar porque en la FMS no hander. Has visto joder en el salón de la fama. Mi colisión te aclama. Te hago un gambito de dama. ¿En qué ámbito tú me ganas? Si estoy en el salón como sos Michael, toma patada, no drama. Pa' ella o pa' mí palmar. Brasileña representa y nos vamos pa' allá a zampar. Has visto cada vez que yo vengo soy profano. Cada culo es una paella porque se saben que voy al grano. Oh, claro que sí, tronco, me desespero. Yo no soy el Real Madrid ni tengo acné como granero, pero sé que te gané. Si eres un pepero, aquí no nos representa. Florentino morirá primero.
Tiempo. Mr. Ego ha estado ahí de lujo. Mark, ¿estás listo?
Sí, dale duro.
Bien, a ver. Y se lo damos en 3, 2, 1. ¡Tiempo!
En 3, 2, 1, tiempo. Cuando yo rapeo aquí nunca hay silencio. Lo sabes, loco, yo aquí siempre soy severo. Yo soy más sangriento que en el silencio de los corderos. Yo no pierdo el tiempo y desde cero, 7-0, como el Barça sin Florentino. A esos cabrones que les den por culo si Messi se piró porque eran unos cretinos. Y al final se quedó porque tiene gusto o mal gusto o porque le dieron un susto y le dijeron ya no cobras. Y para llegar a final de mes, al final pues tendrá que hacer más maniobras. Yo estoy rapeando aquí, el Marcos brilla. Estoy más bueno que una jodida tortilla de patata francesa. Eso me da igual, se la ponemos al puto Fénix en la mesa y le encanta. Yo no soy el mar, yo soy el Mark. Aunque a veces sé que no puedo nadar. Intento y no consigo flotar, pero me la pela, loco, porque siempre llego hasta el final. Lo sabes, yo soy un puto pasillo de esos que dan miedo cuando al final nunca ves el brillo. Yo soy un jodido listillo.
¡Tiempo! Ahí está el minuto de Mark. De lujo, chavales. Ahora vamos a poner una temática y tendréis que rapear 4 patrones cada uno. Empiezas tú, Mark, has terminado, ¿ok? Fénix, ¿estás listo? Vamos para allá. Y… dale ahí.
El Mark cuando te insulta es bueno como el puto Benzema de media punta. Estoy metiendo goles. rapeando siempre como los mejores. Si hablamos de deporte, esa mierda me da igual. Yo soy el mejor en esto, que este es mi deporte mental. Hacemos freestyle desde la jodida escuela y cuando rapeamos con otro le dejamos secuelas. Si me la pela, hablamos de deporte, que te enculen. Yo soy como con la tabla Rodney Mullen o como Nilla Haston, porque en mi ámbito, aunque no sea el skate, yo siempre sueno más vasto. Los Castro, los Capo, me queda la última, eso me la pela, loco. Esta es mi película. El mar no se la salta. Yo soy más mítico como Powell Peralta.
¡Cambio!
Como Cower Peralta, pero creo que les faltan este estilo que en el micro se le exalta. No sé si me adueñas o resaltas, no sé, a mí lo que me falta es una zurda para poder tirar faltas. Como Dembélé, mejor si se la dan, pero vuelve otra vez el hombre, la difro más, el deporte mental. A mí me da igual, tronco, sí, tengo la mente. Cáptalo, soy Kasparov, cáptalo a la siguiente. Luego lo ves, joder, tronco, has visto mi estilo, no se me despeina. Me da igual, soy el serie, pero no serial. Has visto cómo le asedia. El tablero de ajedrez es mi deporte, tengo casillas, torre y reina. Oh, sí, claro que sí, selección española es lo que más te mola. Yo traigo estilo, has visto, primo, en la gramola. Algunos tontos con su polito Ralph Lauren, yo les cogería una Scar y entonces sería Lolito Fernández.
Tiempo de lujo, mi gente. Fénix, vamos a cambiarla. Segunda temática, empiezas tú, Mr. Ego, ¿ok? Dale ahí. Sí, Mister, ¿estás listo o qué? Sí. A ver. Yo, se lo damos en 3, 2, 1… Dámelo.
Estos estilos to guapos en graffiti, tenemos las leyes. Han venido el Mar y el Juan, el King de Reyes. Desde aquí hasta Argüelles. Soy un gitano con la navaja, soy Picasso y mis 3 muelles. Oh shit, quieren graffiti, se los traigo, hombre. Yo les vengo a repartir pinturas y golpes. Pa' ti, joder, un Will Style con hombre. A mí me da igual el hábito a quien hizo. Al monje, eso lo sabe todo Dios. Tengo mi propia pintura, tengo mi propia escultura para intentar hacerlo bien. Todos los MCs que se ponen abajo del andén, yo les doy la pirula para poder pintarles todo el tren. Y es así. Has visto, joder, mi estilo no es putrefacto. Has visto, soy el listo, ni los asalto. Has visto cómo les mato. MCs con esa cara tan barata, joder, parece un cuadro abstracto.
¡Cambio!
El graffiti es mi jerga, irme corriendo y dejar tu local lleno de mierda. Ya lo sabes, es genial, no es vandalismo, pero mola ese segurata detrás. Así que, loco, Mar no fracasa, te encanta ver mi nombre cuando tu puto tren te pasa. Y cuando lo pierdes ves que mi nombre se aleja y tú dices, puto Marquitos, joder, me cago en su vieja. Yo rapeo como un cabrón, no soy el peor, el edificio arriba con el extintor. Yo de graffiti controlo, aunque nunca se me dio tan bien. No como en el rap que llegué al puto nivel 100. Es la última, yo no me canso, pero si salgo a hacer graffiti desfaso. Tengo al segurata que es un puto gordo cagándose en mis muertos porque no me coge y le di un repaso.
Tiempo. Bueno, mi gente, aquí con Mr. Ego, Mar, Fénix y graffiti detrás, incluso igual que la temática. Nos vamos despidiendo. Os dejamos con el siguiente show de Madrid Urban Sports virtual, pero en un ratito vamos a volver. Vamos a ponerles a prueba, ¿vale? Nos vemos en nada, chavales. Hasta ahora.
Medusa, Ephasos, Asha,
Oh, wow. And what a beautiful city. Welcome back to the Madrid Urban Sports. I'm your host, Mathile Delorme, and we are at the Scooter Men's Final. It's been a crazy event in a new online format. It's the first edition of this competition, and it's been totally online. It was originally meant to be a physical event. We've had 32 riders from all over the world. It's been incredible. We've traveled, we've competed, we've seen our quarterfinalists. We have those results coming right for you. And today we'll be looking at quarterfinals, we'll have semifinals, and we'll have the battle for third and fourth position. And finally, today we'll be crowning our big scooter men's finalists. So let's have a look, a little sneak peek at what the scooter has to offer for us today. Let's see it. That is what we have in store for us at today's Scooter Men's Final, Madrid Urban Sports, Urban World Series. You've been following the competition. I am joined by a very special co-host today. His name is Mr. Clayton Lindley. He's joining us all the way from Chandler, Arizona. Clayton, what are those goggles?
Well, you know, I know a lot of riders are going to go really fast today, and so I threw on my speed goggles because I had to be prepared. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. You heard it from him first. Clayton and I were just on the quarterfinals. So let's just have a look at what happened at that competition. Clayton, you were saying just earlier that surprised you, actually, the results for those ones.
It really did. There was certain tricks that I think should have won. Obviously, August took the cake, but we have the best judges, so I'm going to trust them. I'm not going to put my opinion in fully, but yes, these guys are killing it, and I'm excited to see what they got today.
Let's have a look at the bracket, and let's see how these quarterfinals ended up, and that will determine who will go through to the third and fourth position and the semifinals. There you have it. Frenchman Auguste Pellaud won, and he'll be up against Mr. Nick Tedrick. What about that battle?
Oh god, this is gonna be insane. Honestly, I have no idea who's gonna take the win. Both of these guys are insane riders. They're both talented. They both go big, but I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Let's find out. And then finally, we have Saunders, young Australian, and Carlos Rabelo, the local boy. That should be a good one.
It really will. I'm rooting for Kai because he's a dear homie, but also, you know, this is the scooter community and we all work together, so no beef.
Clayton has his poker face on with those goggles today. Let's get into it. We have semi-final number 1. Are you ready to see it?
Oh, I'm ready. I got the glasses. What do you mean? Let's go.
The glasses are ready. All right, before we see the first semifinal, we are going to be joined by one of our judges who was at the quarterfinals all the way from Finland, Mr. Helmeri Pirinen. Hello and welcome.
Hi. Thank you.
Clayton, do you two know each other?
Yes, very well. I actually met him when I was in Finland in 2017, and he is a freaking legend. He grinds wooden 30 stair rails. What? Who does that? No one else does that. So he is probably the best person to have on right now because he is such an OG and absolutely kills on a scooter, one of the most creative riders I know, and I'm excited to hear what he says.
Oh, thank you for the kind words.
Of course.
Helmeri, what was it like? What was it like to judge the quarterfinals? How was that experience?
It was hard. Yeah, it was hard. It's not like a typical contest where you have like 1 minute run or something like that. It's only like one trick. So it's basically like a small best trick contest where you need to choose between 2 riders and only one trick. Yeah, it's kind of tough, to be honest.
All right, Mr. Helmeri, let's see who you are accompanied by. We have 4 other judges with us today. Helmeri is going to be one. He's with us in live. But look who we have with us. Look at this setup. Clayton, Helmeri, What can you tell us about these guys? We spoke about Helmeri, but tell me something.
Honestly, these are like some of the top guys, and they've been judging for years. And especially Fernando, he's always been behind the scenes, so it's good to see him like actually being a part of this contest and being a judge.
There you go. We have Danny, Max, Fernando Perez, Andrew, and nonetheless, the guy in the middle. You are joined with him right here on the bottom of the screen, all the way from Finland. So should we get into it? Let's get into the semifinals. Here we go. August, Pellaud, the Frenchman, Nick, Tedrick. All right, what about this matchup, guys?
This is going to be tough. What do you think between August and Nick, Helmeri?
I mean, both guys are killing it every time. I mean, those guys can do technical things. They can do huge, big things, like everything. They know it all.
And then
seriously,
go on, Clayton.
I was just gonna agree because like both these guys are insane. It's gonna be a good contest.
All right, and then our second one that we'll see just in a minute, it's Kai Saunders and Carlos Rabelo. We'll talk about them too in just a bit. Let's see our first semifinal. Wow.
I mean, yeah.
He's changed his glasses.
I told you. Yeah, they can do so much. Like, there's so much going on in both tricks. Like, technical, big things with style. There's like everything.
Honestly, this must be a hard thing to judge because both guys did like such creative tricks. Like Nick did a half cab lip manual to double whip. And August is doing half cab nose manuals on a huge ledge. Like, honestly, like judging this, was this pretty difficult?
Yeah. August started with like huge up rail, which was like really, for me, it was like the turning point. But yeah, I mean, Nick did like the technical thing, what he's doing over there, it's insane. It's like the technical level is insane over there. So yeah, it was really hard to choose.
Dude, I bet I would not want to be a judge on this. Not at all. Because honestly, if I was in your position, I would have to put them both at a tie. I would just be like, I don't know, like they both win. Give them both prize money.
Yeah. I mean, I know like all these riders are friends together, so I had to like think it's not that serious. Like I just have to choose one of these guys because I know that they know that they're hyped for everyone, and they all like put everything online and they all killed it, to be honest. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Helmeri. Go on, now, Clayton. We want to see what the judges have to say. Come on. All right, let's.
Right now I have my money on Nick. I'm going for Nick right now.
All right. Clayton's got Nick. Helmeri is a judge, so we're going to see what he had to say about these competition versus Pellaud versus Tedrick. Here we go. Oh!
This is why I'm not a judge.
It's a clear field. Clayton, you always seem to get these ones wrong. That's why you're not a judge.
Whoa. Okay. This is why I'm not a judge. Helmeri, why did you choose August over Nick? Like, what made you choose him over Nick?
Yeah, like I told you, the huge up rail in the beginning of the trick. That was my key point. Why I gave the point to August.
Fair enough. Yeah. Is it more of just like because it's more difficult rather than technical?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I would say like that was more like huge thing to do. Not like technical, but yeah, I would say it was like a more bangerish trick.
No, yeah, I totally agree. Like I said, I would give them both a tie, but you did good choice, I will say.
All right, so it's August Pellaud, the Frenchman. Shall we see our second semifinal? Gents, Kai Saunders and Carlos Rabelo. Let's see it.
I mean, what can we do? What can we do?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because they're both doing such technical tricks because they're both technical riders.
Yes,
but
yes.
Gosh, that was crazy. Like my brain couldn't wrap around what was happening. Like I have to watch it again.
Yeah. And when I saw those clips, I was like, okay, Kai is doing like ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Like backside nose plant, whip to Manny to backside nose plants. Like that's, I have never seen that. Like,
no one else is doing that.
Yeah. And then Carlos is doing like huge drop in the end. Like that was also like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I totally agree. Which I think going off the big drop, I'm guessing Carlos is taking the win on this because in the last one you guys chose August because of the big drop. So I'm guessing Carlos is going to take it. But screw you guys. I'm going to go for Kai.
All right, Clayton has got Kai, one from Australia, the other a local man from Spain. Let's see what the judges had to think of this one.
Oh, dude, that's so sick.
Here we go. Let's see it. Kai Saunders and Rabelo. Ooh. All right. Just.
Okay. Yeah, it was tight.
Rabelo just clinches it. So there you go.
I just always root for the underdog. That's my problem.
Guys, we have our final. We have August Pellaud and Carles Rabelo. That they will be our two that will battle it out for the final position at this competition. What do you think of Pellaud and Rabelo 1-1?
This is going to be heavy.
Yes, definitely. It will be. We will see some sick tricks for sure.
Oh, 100%. And also, I'm guessing this is going to be even harder to judge because both these guys are such insane riders. But Kai is going to go more for the technical things, and August is probably going to go for the big banger style tricks.
All right, well, there you have it. The Frenchman and the Spanishman, Pellaud and Rabelo, will battle it out for first place. Let's go to the battle for third. Mr. Kai Saunders and Nick Tedrick. This should be an interesting one. Let's see it. Wow.
This is a hard one too.
Yeah.
His hat fell off. Clayton, can we just say that you've changed your glasses 5 times now? Or 3 times at least?
I have not changed it once.
How many people at home, has he changed his glasses or not? Am I going crazy?
I don't think so. I think you're going crazy.
He's changed his glasses. Anyway, the battle for third, Kai Saunders. Look at this. What do we have to say about this one?
I mean,
okay. Oh, yeah,
that's
go for
really,
it, Mark.
Go
Yeah.
on.
Over
go on.
50-50 with that kind of long handrail, 360 out. Let's go. That's insane.
The thing is I think Kai is going to take the win because one, he's starting at the very beginning of the rail. He's doing it over 50. He's doing the entire rail, and he's doing an over front 50 through the kink and doing a 360 out. And Nick did a massive rail as well, and there looked to be very little landing room, but I think Kai is probably going to take this one just because of the more technical side of it. And it's just
it's really hard to keep the 50-50 like through the kink. That's like one of the hardest thing over there, I think so. Yeah.
And then if you miss that front 50, your stomach's gonna be hurting for a while.
All right.
It's not gonna feel good.
All right, well, let's see what the judges have to say. Clayton thinks it's Kai. Let's see what Helmeri had to say. His decision will be right here. Oh.
I got one right.
Yeah.
It's the first time. Right. Don't get excited. Kai Saunders will win for third position at Madrid Urban Sports. Congratulations to the Aussie, Kai Saunders. Here he is just now. Big round of applause for him. I mean, are we surprised with that?
That is beautiful.
It really was.
All right.
That is scootering right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
All right, we have our third position. Let's go to the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the big final of the men's scooter competition. Let's get into it. Wow. We have seen some crazy stuff today. And once again, he's just making fun of me now. He's changed his glasses at least 5 times.
What are you talking about? That was absolutely insane. And oh my gosh, that 360 out and to the drop and trying to dodge like the 90-degree rail. Nope. Count me out on that one. That was absolutely insane. This one, I have no idea who's going to take the cake. But if I have to choose, it's going to be Carlos, I think.
Helmeri, what do you think?
Well, both did really, really good job over here. And, well, I really love King Rails. So, but yeah, I won't say anything. I won't say anything yet. But
so you voted for August.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm rooting for the underdog again. Here we go.
That was impressive. Two very technical riders. Let's see what our judges have to say. This is it, the moment we've been waiting for. Who will be crowned the winner, the champion of Madrid Urban Sports Virtual Edition? Here we go. Here we have it. The moment we've been waiting for. Here we go. Pellaud, 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 Pellaud. Oh, wow.
Did everyone vote for August?
Yes, unanimous decision across the board. It's the winner is August Pellaud. We have him live with us right here. August, welcome, bienvenue.
Hi.
August.
Wow. Hey. That's a good news. Hey, what's up?
Buddy.
I don't know if you're aware, August, but you just won the first ever edition of Madrid Urban Sports. How does it feel to win a virtual event?
I mean, it's always good to win an event, but a virtual, I mean, it's better because we have all the age rider. We have a month to film this clip, so it was like, it's not like in a day, like a competition of a day. It's like a month, so it's more harder, I think. So it feels so good to win that.
Question. So doing this online contest, was it a little bit less stressful than a normal like best trick event in front of a big crowd, or is it weird not having a crowd behind it and kind of just like was it weird at all?
I think it's so much more stressful because like, I mean, we only think about to go out to take the first place. I mean, all the age riders want to take the first place, so I was like going to sleep like, oh, tomorrow I have to go film this clip. Oh, it's gonna be hard, and I was like almost taking so long time to sleep. I wake up before the alarm, like, oh, right, night time, and it's like pretty hard, but it's
dude,
good,
that's crazy. The tricks you threw down for this man was insane. The first gap over the rail was like, bro, what is wrong with you? Like, what are you on? Whatever you're on, I want some of it, okay? Like, bro, absolutely insane. The triple kink, right? Was it 3 or was it 4 kinks?
3, like bro. With 2 flats.
Yeah, you killed like every section. You killed everything. All those clips you sent to the competition, everything was like banger. It was so good to see all those.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, you absolutely killed it. And also, like, I will say, your recent video part, unreal.
Thank you so much.
Your video part, and then plus having all these tricks that you threw down for this, it just shows how good of a rider you are. And I honestly am so excited to see more from you. It's just, it's going to be great.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, August. Pellaud, thank you so much for being here with us today. And congratulations again on your win. Virtual event, Madrid Urban Sports. We really hope to see you next year in person in Madrid.
I hope so too. I hope so. I really want to come in Madrid to do this.
We will be waiting for you with our arms wide open. Thank you very much again, August, and see you next year, hopefully. And congratulations again on your win.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Guys, Auguste Pellaud, the Frenchman, he's won the first edition. It's quite historic, actually. Virtual
really
edition, first one, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think this has changed a lot, like because nowadays we can't have like normal competitions because of the virus, but yeah, it's good to see that we can still do something, some kind of competitions, and this is something new, and I think it has worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And yeah. What do you think?
Honestly, I think compared to other events, because other events have done like, you get a team together and you have to work together with a filmer and an editor. But I think the thing that's really cool about Madrid is that they're incorporating just one single best trick, and I feel like it makes things a lot easier to vote on, especially for a judge, because if you're watching videos from multiple places and people riding multiple skate parks, I feel like it's hard to judge. But if someone's just riding a street spot it's one single clip, I think it's easier to judge between those two. But also it's hard because like everyone's insane.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, Mr. Clayton Lindley, my co-host, the man with many glasses, and in my opinion, they are the best ones that he finished off with. And Helmeri, all the way from Finland, thank you so much for joining us live. One of our 5 judges, today at the Madrid Urban Men's Scooter Competition. And there you have the men's final at the Madrid Urban Sports Scooter. Let's have a look at the final podium to see what the results gave us. There you have it. The bronze went to Australian Kai Saunders. Silver medal went to the local man, Carles Rabelo, and Frenchman Auguste Pellaud took the gold. And now we will be joined by one of the many people that's made this entire event possible, Mr. Roberto Núñez, Vice Councillor of the Community of Madrid. Welcome, Roberto. Join us, please.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Thank you so much for being here and for making this entire new virtual format possible. It's definitely one of a kind in sports around the world. How important was it for Madrid really to have this scale of international athletes at an event like this?
But first of all, I want to say that we are very proud of the level of the competition. We hope later to be able to do this event in person. But the most important thing is the sporting activity doesn't stop. These athletes are competing and being seen by the whole world. This is important.
Right. And the community of Madrid, the urban sports is growing so much in this community and this city. What facilities do the local riders have really to play with and to train?
Many cities of the region of Madrid had good facilities for riders. Urban sport is constantly growing, and I'm sure in the future more urban sport facilities will be built. It is a sport more and more practices and public administration will be into account.
I mean, it's great, and we're really looking forward to it, to hopefully make it a hotspot like Barcelona is for Spain. Madrid definitely looks like it's going the same way. And now finally in 2021, would we have the possibility of seeing Madrid Urban Sports finally at a real event and not in a virtual edition?
It will be a great news, but it is too early to know if it will be possible. Right now we have focused to managing the pandemic crisis, and later we will study the possibility of bringing a big sporting event for region of Madrid. In any case, region of Madrid will always be an international point for a sporting event, and we will study with great interest and detail.
All right, well, we can't wait, and fingers crossed, hopefully this can all be over very soon and we can see live sports again in Madrid soon. This has been an incredible event and we can't wait to see it, hopefully next year. Thank you so much, Roberto.
Thank you very much. Enjoy urban sport, enjoy Madrid.
Thank you so much, guys. All right, we're going to go to the skate competition now. Let's see it.
couscous.
Vuelve a Madrid. Vuelve a cantar, vuelve a Madrid. Vuelve a bailar, vuelve a salir. Vuelve a cantar, vuelve a Madrid. Vuelve a bailar, vuelve a salir. Vuelve a cantar, vuelve a Madrid.
Puedes definirme como una estudiante de danza, pero también soy arquitecta y kickboxer. Y quiero una app que sea como yo, que además de ayudarme a gestionar mi dinero, me ofrezca mucho más, con la que pueda disfrutarlo todo con mis amigos, hasta llevar las cuentas de la cena del sábado, y sin necesidad de tener una cuenta bancaria. Descárgate la app y descubre el nuevo Imagine.
I love it when you couscous.
Hello and welcome back to the Madrid Urban Sports virtual edition. I am your host, Mathile Delorme, and we're here today for the skateboarding women's final. It's been an incredible competition. We started back on November 11th on social media. Urban World Series is the handle. The hashtag is Madrid Urban Sports, and the competition has been happening there. You've been making your predictions. We've been listening. If you've been happening on social media, you would have seen the quarterfinals and you would have seen the results for those today. The semi-final videos as well. Here we're going to have the results for the semi-final videos. It's been an incredible comp. 32 international athletes in a brand new online format. It's really been something else. We are here today for skateboarding women's. Now let's have a little sneak peek about what we can expect for today's competition. That is what we can expect today from the skateboarding women's at Madrid Urban Sports. Now I'm going to be joined by a wide variety of judges, ambassadors, all worldwide acclaimed. And today I'm joined by the none other than Mr. Kelly Hart, all the way from California. Hello, Kelly. Welcome back. Wow, nice dude.
Hey, thank you. I thought it looked nice for this event. You know, Thanks for having me back. This is awesome.
I love this slick look.
I'm trying to try something new for 2020. You know, it's almost the end. Might as well spice it up.
I mean, you and I were here for the quarterfinals. What did you have to think of this new online virtual format of skateboarding?
I think it's awesome. It's a different way of looking at skateboarding and filming, and a cool way of competing, but having fun at the same time.
I mean, and the bracket, what did we have to see at the quarterfinals? What really impressed you at that competition?
Oh, man. I just think it was more the way that people wanted to skate the spots and what they could do. It it's just a different process, man. And they all did a great job.
Well, Kelly will join us throughout the entire competition for the men's and the women, so stick around if you're waiting for the men's, because Kelly will join us. Skateboarding connoisseur. He's the man that loves to laugh and skateboard. That's his Instagram that said it, not me. And
True.
And let's have a look at the bracket today. We're going to get straight into the semifinals and the moment we've all been waiting for to crown our winner. But hang on for that. We'll see that in just a bit. Here we can see the bracket for the women's quarterfinals. This is what happened, and this is what we can expect to see in the semifinals. Kelly, what do you think of this matchup?
I mean, this is kind of heavy hitters right here. We'll see. I'm curious to see what happens, to be honest. I don't know what's going to happen.
And we've got Leal and Fujisawa. What can we say about that matchup?
I mean, to see a matchup like this is so different in skateboarding. It doesn't happen really like this. So I've never seen it before. I have no idea. This is going to be wild to watch.
Yeah, very rare new online format. And to help us with that, we have an array of 5 magnificent judges, one of whom will join us live today. None other than Vanessa Torres, also joining us live from America. Vanessa, welcome to the show.
Am I on? Am I
You're
here?
on.
Hey, look at us all surviving in 2020. Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. I was stoked to be brought on to help judge all of this. And yeah, this is kind of where we are right now. Everything is virtual, and but it's been fun though, nonetheless. I think just to watch everybody, I don't know, kind of go out there and then put all their stuff together, and it's exciting. It's a distraction from all the chaos that has been going on this year. So it's just fun to kind of get some sort of normalcy, I guess, in our industry. And I was just stoked to be brought on to help judge it.
Right.
So,
Did you two, do you two know each other?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We've
been friends for a while. Yeah.
That's my brother right there for sure.
You can give us some
We've
good
judged
gossip.
a lot of contests.
Yeah.
Oh, really? All right, Vanessa
Yeah.
can give us some good gossip on Kelly later on.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right, well, Vanessa is live with us today, but she helped us judge our quarterfinals. And we have 4 other judges with us today. Let's have a look at that bracket now. We'll be joined by, wow, I mean, look at these judges. Guys, what can you tell us about the judges that we have lined up today?
I mean, they're legends, to be honest. I grew up watching all of them and watching their videos. Vanessa, it's pretty, same with you, but it's pretty cool that you got to work with these amazing people too.
Yeah. I've worked with Jesus before too, like in SLS, weren't we all?
Yeah, we did. We've done it all. We've done it.
Yeah, that was the first time
we've been
that
all
I
over.
actually met him. He's awesome. Yeah, and his skateboarding's incredible. So I feel like we all know each other in some way. So it's cool to come together and work together on something like this. So.
Right, and stick around because Mr. Anthony Claravall will be with us later on. Let's have a look at this brand new format that we have for this first edition of Madrid Urban Sports. Here it is. What do you guys think about this format? Very different, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean this is the... Go ahead, Vanessa, yeah.
No, I'm just thinking personally, when you're doing... we're all here for the first time trying to figure out what works for a virtual contest. So it's I feel like you have to actually narrow it down. And I think that's what's exciting is that it is actually totally different. It's a completely different format. And he has to be realistic as far as, we are doing this virtually. So I think it's exciting. It's totally new. So you get to see, skateboarders in kind of a different light, and where they're just specifically going out and getting specific tricks rather than having to put together, you know what I mean? They have more time to just go and have fun with that stuff. So.
Sorry, I keep hearing things in my headphones, super gnarly.
That's what we have for an online format. Things are happening all over the place. I mean, it's just amazing to have these two legends on the screen, Kelly Hart and Vanessa Torres. Thank you so much, both from America. We're in Madrid. As we were saying, we're all trying to figure it out. There are 8 riders. We saw the quarterfinals with Kelly earlier on. Vanessa was there to judge. Today we'll see the semifinals. We're judging, well, Vanessa and the 4 other judges will judge line. And then the big final will go to Rail. So, shall we get into it? Let's see our first semi-final. Head-to-head, let's do it. It's Rayssa, Leal and Nanaka Fujisawa and Filipino Didal against Brazilian Mazetto. Guys, what do we think?
What, you throwing this at me, Kelly?
I don't know.
I mean, these are my people, obviously, but I mean, I feel like all 4 of these skateboarders are incredible. They're all unique in their own way, and they each just bring something different to the table. So this was the whole versus thing was really interesting for me because I was like, okay, well, I actually like this format because it's like you gotta come through with your stuff. You know what I mean? It's either you killed it or somebody killed it harder, and they're all incredible skateboarders. But alas, this is a versus contest, so it's like you need to step it up. So they all rip, but
yeah, I'm curious to see what they do and to see. I think they're gonna learn from this scenario right now, but for next year how they do it, because it's like the strategy to it. I think people are learning right now and seeing it, but once they do it, they go through it this year. Next year is gonna be a whole different thing where they're gonna elevate it so much higher. You know.
Yeah, super exciting first time to do something like this, I think, and I think everyone that was involved like enjoyed being a part of it, no matter what the results were or anything. But for sure, I think people were just stoked to like put together some skate clips and like submit it, and then just kind of see what happens, So
and it's a whole new generation right here.
Yeah,
there's so much younger than.
Yeah. Young
it's amazing.
Group of super talented riders. I think we're all super pumped to see what they have to offer. Shall we get into it? Let's go to the first semi-final. Let's see it.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pots. Pockets running over with the dollar sign.
I mean, woof.
Yeah, wow. Both clean.
I feel like when I was judging too, I was watching these clips like just simultaneously and just multiple times. So I'm like, okay, because you're thinking about technical, and it's just like both tricks are sick. Obviously, I think I went with Nanaka's Smith kickflip because I just feel there's a lot more that could go wrong there. You know what I mean?
For sure. Definitely a little more technical.
Yeah.
And both super clean, but I think the Smith kickflip kind of takes it on that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it's a ledge off. It goes off a step to be true. So
yeah.
There's
a lot more going on. There's a lot more risk, I guess you could say.
Two incredible riders. Let's see what Vanessa and the other 4 judges had to say about this. Let's see it. All right, first matchup, Leal and Fujisawa. Oh. Vanessa, did you know what the other judges had to say?
No, I did not, and I think I kind of enjoyed that whole process.
Right.
Because, I just it was just speaking from my heart, the truth from my heart, what I believe to be, just doing this as long as I've been doing it. That was my number one choice out of the 2. And no, I didn't get to see any. I was sending my picks separately in a separate email, so I don't think anybody saw who I chose either. So
you didn't talk to the judges at all about it?
Nah, man, it wasn't. This is different times, Kelly. Come on, man. Different times. You know what I mean?
Different times for sure.
Yeah, just
Kelly, are you surprised by that one?
To be honest, no. They were both great tricks, but I think a Smith kickflip is definitely more technical, and it was super clean, both of them. But I think, yeah, the Smith kickflip takes the cake.
All right, Madame Nanaka Fujisawa from Japan will head to our final. Let's get into the second one. Leal and Mazetto. Let's see it. Second semi-final.
Big time, knowing that. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Big time, lot of slime, smoky in the air, that's a lot of.
All right, I'm gonna start talking on that one.
You take it.
Honestly, this was really tough for me because this is semi. So whoever, you know what I mean, whoever gets chosen out of these two is moving forward. So you know how it goes, Kelly. It's like things just they get even more. They're already just it's super tense anyway. But when you start getting closer to just like you know what I mean, semis, you're climbing towards finals and stuff like that. Like things get really crucial. And I know this is virtual and it's fun and everything, but you know, these riders are actually submitting like, you know, their hard tricks and stuff, and they're out there putting in work. And it's like, we want to do them. I want to do them right, you know? And, but this one I was trying to figure out because I was like, okay, Gaby has so much speed. And I think that also just whoever was filming her made it look super sick as well. So you have like creativity, you have the fact that she's, one, there's speed. I always like speed. And she's kind of like threading the needle in some way. That's kind of how it appealed to me. And then also Margie's, you know, back nose grind 180 out. I was like, it's sick, but it's like lost speed. I feel like at the end of, you know, coming off the ledge, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to go with Gaby, you know, like I just said, that was my choice, but.
Did you put in like thought of like the actual spot involved with like this? Yep. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, it makes sense. That is a cool spot.
Yeah, with Gaby's too is like it was a little like, you know, grimier. You know what I mean? I feel like Margie found a dope ledge. Like that thing looks super fun. You know what I mean? But I was like, okay, that's where you differentiate. I feel like things as well. It's like how grimy is the spot? Like how gnarly is it? And also tricks, like trick selection too. Obviously Margie's trick is dope and I probably can't even do it, but
it doesn't matter. You're judging on what's better, you know?
Yeah, all the things together, you know? So
alrighty, so Kelly, Vanessa, let's see what the judges had to say. Who will join Nanaka Fujisawa in the big final? Ooh, Leal. Leal takes it. The young Filipino Margalin Leal will join Nanaka. Guys, thoughts on this lineup?
It's a great lineup. I think, you know, hey, Vanessa, I don't know if I would have chosen the back Smith, but I understand what you're saying. They're both a little different and harder to judge because, yeah, one's a little more technical, ledge off stair, one's a ledge through a gap, back Smith, you know. But I think, you know, it's a little bit surprising to see, but they're both talented.
Either way, I'm happy because everyone that's involved in the whole like women's process too is just like, I know them all. I've seen, you know what I mean? I've watched them over the last like 5+ years. So it's just sick to see either of them like get in there and, you know, and also be a part of this and get to watch them skate. You know what I mean? Especially like in the streets, which is also different about this contest too, is because like when we go and we judge contests, there's like pre-built, you know, courses, and it's not like you get the raw effect of, you know what I mean, going out and and stuff. So I thought it was really cool for me.
It's interesting to see Margie, like we've seen her in contests where she does like the really, really tech, like 50-50 late backfoot flips. I'm surprised that we didn't see something like that in this.
You might have seen it in her line. It might have been her line.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's interesting to see what people put together and then what you're not used to seeing, especially in a contest like setting, you know what I mean? Pre-built, not streets, you know? So
yeah,
that's really
totally.
Yeah. I'm not upset. I'm so exposed. right now, though. I picked Gaby. So let it be known. And I'm really glad that Margie got in there because she's also dope.
So it's going to be Margie Didal against Nanaka Fujisawa. Let's see this final lineup. Here we go. Here it is. Fujisawa and Didal will battle it out in just a second. We're not done. We'll see them later on battle it out for the final. But we have the battle for third place that we're going to get into right now between Rayssa, Leal and Gabriela Mazetto. I mean, wow. Let's see what these two riders have to offer. Right? I mean, what do you say something about this one, guys? It's going to be a hard battle for third.
I mean, what? Is this like Brazil versus Brazil, dude? Like, at the end of the day, Brazil doesn't care as long as someone's going.
Exactly.
So they're both super sick and different style of skating and different choices of tricks. So I think it'll be really interesting to see who comes out on top with that.
All right. Definitely. So let's head to Brazil where we're going to battle it out for third position. Let's see these girls skate.
Lot of slime, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine.
Both rail tricks. I mean, front blunt stands out to me on that one.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, Vanessa?
I don't remember. I think it just like came down to I can't remember if they're like man-made rails, like you know what I mean?
Oh
like,
yeah.
Whatever, but
are they at skate park?
Yeah, the front blunt supersedes a front board like at any point. There's like way more risk in a front blunt than there is in a front board. That's like front board is like, you know, like I don't know. That's like it's the only trick I'll do down a rail these days, but it's like
you could argue though that the rail that she front boarded is a little bit bigger than the front blunt.
There's just exactly. There's more risk factors. Yeah. That was my whole thing with the Beck Smith too. Was just like, you know, grimier, like gnarlier, you know, gnarlier spot, but nonetheless, I think front blunt is definitely.
All right. So we have one spot left for the bronze medal. What do the judges have to say? Which Brazilian will take the bronze medal? Here we go. Oh, unanimous. Unanimous decision across the board. Guys, thoughts on this one?
Wow, really? Front board took it on that one?
It took Kelly a couple of seconds to register.
Wow. I mean, both great tricks. I wonder, I couldn't really tell by the footage like how much bigger the rail was, but.
Honestly, I think what may have happened was that Gaby's front board was actually in the streets and Rayssa's front blunt was in the skate park.
That totally makes sense.
Contest is like has to be in the streets, so I think there might have been some like, you know, I don't know. That's why.
No, I agree. Yeah, this should be in the streets. You know, like you have this time to go skate the streets and, you know, take it to them. Don't be going to the skate park. It's your one time you can go skate the streets.
And trial and error.
Well, the bronze medal goes to young Brazilian Gaby Mazetto. Congratulations, Gaby. We'll see that bracket in just a second. Okay, guys, now it's about to get wild because it's time for the final, and we'll be joined by none other than Colin Mckay. We have Colin on the line with us today. He's going to be with us for this grand final. Colin, hello and welcome.
He's like, what?
What's up, Colin?
Sorry, the old mute button was on.
Oh, he was on mute. It all goes with the new online format, Colin. You're good.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Colin is none other than the founder of Plan B Skateboards. He'll be joined by Kelly Hart and Vanessa Torres to comment on this big final for the women's skateboarding Madrid Urban Sports. Guys, there you are, all on the big screen. So much talent on one screen.
I'm happy to be a part of this crew right here. This is awesome.
When is the last time
Big
you guys
fans.
saw each other?
I think it was in Brazil the last time that we were all together last week.
Really? In Brazil?
All of us. Yeah, all of us for sure.
Believe so, yeah.
Colin, what do you think of this new... Oh, go on, Vanessa.
And I'm a 45-year-old vert skater, and even I know that the footage has to be in the real streets and not a skate park. So.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just some miscommunication that happened, and whatever. That's how it goes. That's
And we all know Rayssa is going to be the most famous women's skateboarder ever, so we don't feel too bad for her.
Not already, yeah. So we're good.
Totally.
Colin, what are your thoughts on this new online format of skateboarding?
I think it's cool to come up with something for everybody to do. You know, work with what we got and make it happen, and hopefully we'll look back and appreciate just doing something cool like this when we needed to.
And let's see who our big finalists are today in the women's skateboard. Here we have it. Guys, what about this matchup? Japan and Philippines head to head. Margie and Nanaka, what do we think?
I mean, I don't even know what to expect right now. Nanaka's really surprised me on this one, and Margie, she's so talented. You never know what she can pull through next in the finals. So,
Yeah, I definitely think we see. Well, personally, I feel like Kelly and I both see a lot more of Margie skating than Nanaka's. I've skated with Nanaka. She rides for Meow. She's come to the States and stuff like that. And that girl throws down. Like, so the thing is, it's like she really has an arsenal of all kinds of tricks. You know what I mean? She skate rails, she skate stairs. Like, she can get technical. Obviously, the Smith kickflip. But both of them are just dope, dude. And it's just like a different style of skateboarder. So you just, you know. I'm just interested to see like what they choose. You know what I mean? Just submit.
Colin, any thoughts?
Yeah, Japan versus the Philippines. I'm a fan of Margie, having seen her skate in real a couple times. She's a rad little all-around skater. This is my first time seeing Nanaka, but I love that Smith kickflip out, and again, I appreciate the ground that she was skating on there in this contest. So I don't know. It's gonna be cool to see.
All right, well, a screen full of talent. And let's have a look at who will be crowned champion Madrid Urban Sports skateboarding women's final. Let's see it.
Let me first to say that I'm pretty sure my pick was Nanaka. And I'll just tell you why.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, one being just the spot in general. Also, like the length of the grind. A lot more can go wrong on a front feeble. Like that spot was just grungy, dude. Like it was just, the rail was tight, but also I really liked Margie's like 5-0 as well. I mean, both tricks are sick. Like both clips are sick. Also, I'm just gonna say that I went with I picked Nanaka at this time in between the two for sure.
Yeah, I feel like Nanaka's rail's a little bit longer. And, she held it good. She did it well. Margie's 5-0 almost looked like a front salad in a weird way. You know what I mean?
It was, actually. It's just
you couldn't really... there wasn't long enough to grind that much or whatever, but maybe it would be better to have a different angle of that trick as well. That thing that Nanaka had for her, she had two different angles.
Yes, she did. Yes, sir.
That might have helped her a little bit, and the judges score that.
Hey man, filming counts. I feel like it really, you know what I mean? Like,
hey, in the video parts, the filming counts. You know what I mean? That's what makes it that much better.
Cool about this this whole format too is that like, you know, people are obviously going out and filming everyone that's involved, so they're gonna like put their taste on it, and that's been enjoyable.
All right.
Yeah,
Colin, thoughts before we head to the judges' decision?
I mean, I'm all about how something's done over what's done. And both were dope tricks, but Margie needs a couple more stairs under there. And I love that Nanaka was just like fully on top, fully committed to the situation. So I give it to Nanaka.
Yeah.
Nanaka of Japan. All right. Our three guests here seem to have the same opinion. Let's see what the judges had to think and who will be crowned women's skateboarding finalists. There we go. There we have our 5 judges again. Here we go. Let's see it. Anthony. Wow. Okay.
Oh.
There we go. Across the board.
Where's the confetti?
You guys all agree. Congratulations, Nanaka. I mean, we're not surprised, are we?
No, but everyone ripped. It was an awesome contest to be on the receiving end of being able to watch everything that was, you know, submitted to. It's just really cool to see all of them out there still like skating during this time, and I don't know, being a part of something super fun, super rad. So.
I mean, what a great opportunity for this young Japanese skater, considering that next year, fingers crossed, the Olympics will be in Japan, in her home country, and skateboarding will be added to the Olympic program. I mean, what are our thoughts around that and her kind of probability for Tokyo 2020 and the first Olympic Games?
I mean, personally, I think it's extremely high. I've seen her out at a lot of contests that we have judged as well. I just think we haven't seen as much street skating, you know, just out in the streets, and that's about as
This is what's cool about this is like a lot of these skaters I've seen here from the contest that I've never seen street footage of them. So it's so different to see them out in the streets. And I will say, I'm really actually proud of your guys' decision on what was the last round, the front board versus the front blunt. You guys really did take in the fact that like the street footage, like that's what this contest is about, you know? So it's really cool, and I respect all the judges did a great job, and the skaters did as well.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, there you have it, our champion Nanaka Fujisawa of Japan. Now, we spoke to Nanaka earlier on about this brand new online format, how it felt to win, and her thoughts for the future. Let's hear from Nanaka.
結果を聞いた時はとっても嬉しかったです。私にとってオンラインコンテストはこれが初めての経験なのでワクワクしながら見ていました。インスタグラムを通して皆さんと結果を共有できるのもとてもいいなと思っていました。LINE は自分の限界の技に挑戦しました。撮影時はとても辛かったんですが決めれてよかったです。ちょっとスケッチーだったんですけど、他のライダーの方々も皆さんすっごくかっこよくてとてもいいなと思いながら見ていました。結果を知った時は本当にすっごく嬉しかったです。皆さんの応援のおかげでここまで来ることができました。本当にありがとうございました。これからも大会やストリートスケート頑張っていくので見守っていただけたらとても嬉しいです。ありがとうございました。バイバイ。
Her energy is awesome, dude. Obviously, I do not speak Japanese, but you know.
You guys got all of that, right? Colin, I saw Colin nodding his head.
And she was grateful for the opportunity to be in the contest, and she appreciated Kelly respecting that she was in the real streets, not a park. So that was really cool.
Colin Mckay, everybody, our translator.
That's tight. No, she's rad. She's a rad kid, and extremely talented, and a joy to like be around. I've always had a really good time around hanging with her and skating with her. So I'm really stoked that she was able to, you know, take this one, because I mean she put in work and she came out on top because, you know, she killed it. So that was awesome.
Yeah. I think what's cool about this is that everyone in the contest is so young and up and coming. That's going to be really, really awesome to watch them grow and watch their skateboarding. You know, it's really cool.
All right. Well, my wonderful people, thank you so much for joining us today and being a part of this peculiar, live sports skateboarding edition in a very peculiar 2020 context. It's amazing to have you all here on screen, and thank you very much for being a part of this. And we hope to see you in Madrid next year for 2021 physical event, right? Fingers crossed.
I'll be there.
Yes, yes. Let us know.
If it's safe, we can do it.
And thank you to all those magnificent skateboarding legends that joined us here today to comment the women's final of the first edition of Madrid Urban Sports. Let's have a look at the podium and have a look at who won. Here it is. Bronze medal went to Brazilian Gaby Mazetto. Silver went to Margie Didal from the Philippines. And gold, none other than Nanaka Fujisawa, who we just heard from today. What an amazing competition. And now we will be joined by one of the very people that made this event possible, Sofia Miranda. She's the sports counselor of Madrid City Council. Welcome, Sofia.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. Very well. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Busy, no? Lots of work to make this event possible.
Yeah, but very, very happy to be here finally.
We're so happy to have you here. Once again, thank you
very
so much to make this virtual event possible. Madrid Urban Sports is the first edition and it's virtual. What assessments had to be made from the City Council to turn a physical event into a virtual one?
Well, I must say that it was not an easy decision to make, because we were in the middle of this pandemic situation, worldwide. So we did have to make a difficult decision. The first one was like, okay, we can do nothing and just postpone it for next year, or we can take the difficult path and try to reconvert it into a digital event. And we decided to make it difficult. But to take the difficult path, but finally we are here, and we are very, very happy because it gives the opportunity to the city to show the world that we are ready to have it in a physical next year, that Madrid is a modern city, and we love urban sports. So.
Yeah, and you did it. You turned a physical event into a virtual one, and it was a huge success. We've seen athletes from all over the world, really at an international caliber. It's been incredible. What role really does Madrid have? What role do urban sports have in this city?
Madrid is a very big city, and the youngest are already taking the city, converting the city in their field, right? But the city hall is like just falling apart into that culture tendency. So we thought that if we want the youngest people to practice a sport, we should offer them a better offer,
right,
but also show them that we are supporting them.
Right, and I think this event is definitely a first step into doing that, into really giving the city an urban sports presence. This virtual event was a success, Sofia. Will we finally see, fingers crossed, in 2021, the virtual event turn into a physical one next year at Madrid, Rio, Matadero?
There's nothing more that I would like to. I mean, we hope so, right? But we don't know how this is going to, the pandemic situation is going to go, but our objective is to have it next year in Madrid, Rio, and we hope that all the people that have already participated in the virtual event can come to Madrid, enjoy the city, and enjoy the contest.
We'll come back, and it is a beautiful city. We'll see some images later of Madrid. It is really an amazing location to host this event, and we're very eager to see all these athletes back. Thank you again, Sofia, so much for being here with us today.
Thank you.
And now let us go to our second round of the freestyle battle, Madrid. And we are in Madrid, we're in Spain, so the freestyle battle is in Spanish. Nonetheless, it's amazing to watch. After that, we will finish the program with the final men's skateboarding. It'll be the last sport competition of the program. One winner will be crowned the first of Madrid Urban Sports. Let's see it. Thank you, Sofia.
Thank you.
veces.
Vuelve a salir.
Vuelve a Madrid.
Vuelve a cantar. Vuelve a Madrid. Vuelve a bailar. Vuelve a salir. Vuelve a cantar. Vuelve a Madrid. Vuelve a bailar. Vuelve a salir. Vuelve a cantar. Vuelve a Madrid.
Puedes definirme como un estudiante de danza, pero también soy arquitecta y kickboxer. Y quiero una app que sea como yo, que además de ayudarme a gestionar mi dinero, me ofrezca mucho más, con la que pueda disfrutarlo todo con mis amigos, hasta llevar las cuentas de la cena del sábado, y sin necesidad de tener una cuenta bancaria. Descárgate la app y descubre el nuevo Imagine.
Muy buenas, ¿qué tal estáis todos? Aquí me presento de nuevo, EUD de Urban Rooster. Estamos aquí en Madrid Urban Sports virtual para hacer una pequeña exhibición de lo que es la Liga de Freestyle Profesional. Ya sabéis, un deporte mental, un deporte urbano como los que estamos viendo durante todo el día. Antes hemos hecho una pequeña dosis, si lo habéis perdido, pues bueno, lo siento, pero ahora vamos a hacer una segunda, vamos a poner a prueba. Estoy aquí con mis chicos Mr. Ego, estoy aquí con mi chico Mark y por supuesto mi hombre orquesta DJ Phoenix. Así que nada, voy a explicar un poquito cómo va a funcionar. Ahora vamos a complicar un poquito las cosas. Vamos a hacer un formato que se llama Hard Mode, en el cual salen palabras cada 5 segundos y ellos tendrán que improvisar todo en tiempo real. ¿Estáis preparados? ¿Estáis preparados en casa? Seguro que sí. Phoenix, cuando quieras.
Sí.
Sí. Sí. A ver. Mark, ¿estás listo? Se lo damos en 3, 2, 1. ¡Dámelo!
Dámelo, yo soy el chaval que siempre se meó en los gallos de corral. Rapeaba desde crío, no les hacía la tijera, pero si se ponen tontos yo ya cortaba cualquiera. Sí. Haciendo un easy move, a mí tú no me jodas. Yo tengo la espada como Zorro Ronoa y tranquilamente mi hermano me la pela claro. Si está el cielo soleado, si está nublado, ¿cómo? Yo salgo igual. No soy como un ocupa de esos que te meten en su casa, los hijos de puta. Sí. Madre mía, loco, yo no quiero lamer ninguna droga que no quiero nombrar bien. Lo mío es puro veneno, es puro queroseno. Si te lo meto bien tienes que observar cómo yo sueno. Yo juego a las damas y juego al ajedrez. Lo mío es la estrategia hasta que te da la sed. Jugando en la mesa, nos rellenamos la copa hasta que nos cambia la cara y se nos pone de idiota. Tú lo sabes, como el otro día, qué chaval. El Marquito rapeando aquí es un jodido animal. Yo no te doy un discurso. Nos ponemos a poner el brazo en la mesa y te gano el pulso. Oler, madre mía, me lo ponen mazo difícil para no hablar de las cosas de las que no puedo poner.
Tiempo. De lujo, como veis. Es una disciplina complicada, palabras cada 5 segundos, pero se lo damos 3, 2, 1. Mister.
What up, Sean? La primera es tierno, en el tierno Galván volvió el Juan y se volvió todo enfermo. Así has visto cómo te enternezco. La vuelta ciclista, la vuelta de la pista del artista tu ruedo. Estos son rápidos, has visto quién acaba hasta los huevos. Mr. Ego brindará con cava el día de tus muertos. ¿Cómo? Allí estará en la tala del árbol en el desierto. Y ha vuelto a Gaara que lo tengo bien por dentro. iTunes, hay muchos estilos de Looney Tunes que a mí no me gustan y no mantienen la actitud. Una pulga, joder, la pulga es lo que te deberías ganar tú. No soy una pulga. Te purga los Kruk, dado, has visto, dado que te hago 7 caras, no, tienes este estilo, dado que tú las paras, no las paras, las ventosas te las tragas, son las cosas que no dagas, MR puntuado tiene el dual en dagas, ey, te mata como quieras, es la ley, vuelve otra vez para enseñarte que en la flor soy un sensei, soy un bonsai del freestyle como 6. A mí me da igual si estás en la granja, luego os dormiréis o os quedaréis en la granja. Os voy a dar un poco más de rap y os voy a cambiar la franja. ¿Tú quieres la receta? Pues yo tengo 2 maquetas. La primera empezó en ese coño y la segunda acabó en tus 2.
Tiempo. Aquí ha estado Mr. Ego. Minutazo, rap puro. Improvisado 100%. Os explico, mi gente. Ahora vamos con personajes contrapuestos. Nos olvidamos de Mr. Ego, nos olvidamos de Mark. Cada uno va a adoptar un rol distinto, ¿vale? Y se van a enfrentar entre ellos. ¿Qué tocará? Será algo de nuestros amigos de Madrid Urban, supongo, ¿no? Madrid Urban Sport. Perfecto. Fénix, suéltamela. 3, 2, 1, dáselo.
Oh, yo no sé ni montar en bicicleta, pero tengo las tablas, tengo las tabletas para hacerte la regleta, primo. Soy el Mr. Ego y la dinamita de tu próximo quitamiedos.
El quitamiedos llega al coche y no se parte. Yo vine a hacerlo bien con un rap que se reparte. Me pongo a rapear y tú te quedas embobado como viendo a Tony Hawk volando encima del cuartel.
Tony Hawk hace freestyle, el Mr. Ego te lo hace aquí, no es un skate de Van Dyne. Pues claro que sí, de 2 te clavo 3 en freestyle. Joder, yo tengo una BMX, me llaman Devon Smile.
Menos mal que en este deporte se habla, en el otro yo me enfadaba y reventaba la tabla porque no me salía el truco y no sabía grindar, así que tuve que dejarlo para ponerme a rapear.
Para rapear has visto cómo tengo los grilletes. Yo no voy a invertir en eso mis billetes porque yo soy de esos que te sacan el machete. No va con una BMX sino con una moto del 47.
A mí las motos me la pelan, pero cuando voy al skatepark yo voy ya sobre ruedas. Sea la BMX o sea lo que tú quieras contar, o sobre ruedas o sobre ese manillar.
Sobre ese manillar, yo no tengo una bemeta, tengo una vereta letal que te metas en trometas, la metralleta verbal que se conecta. Joder, no tengo un skate, tengo más tablas, más maquetas.
Yo iba a patinar un rato al skatepark aquí al lado y uno que montaba en BMX se partió el cuello y la verdad estuvo guapo.
Estuvo guapo el que se partió el cuello, porque luego quien los recogen son ellos. Esos funerarios guapos, has visto esos funerarios feos. Yo te hago una BMX cada vez que rapeo.
No me puedes ver a mí con la emoción que tenía al sacarme el 360 flip. Así, tranquilamente, no es pardilla. De repente un día, pues, me partí la rodilla.
Se partió la rodilla, yo soy el mago, me deshago, te hago un tomahawk. Has visto en un sarcófago la clavo. Yo no te hago un 360 flip, pero dejo a 360 flipando con lo que hago.
¡Última!
Flipando con lo que hago, lo que hace mi amigo. Estamos aquí rapeando más tranquilos. Fíjate si yo soy gilipollas que hacía todo el día pegando botes y me la partía andando tranquilo.
¡Tiempo! ¡Tiempo! Hayan estado Mark y Mr. Ego. Bueno, o Skate contra MX. Por favor, Mr. Pablo. Bueno, os explico. Hemos llegado al final ya de esta exhibición. Lo que vamos a ver a continuación se llama Ronda Deluxe y se van a tirar un compás cada uno, o sea, 4 frases cada uno. Primero a capela. Se van a tirar ida y vuelta 2 cada uno. Y a la siguiente entra el cronómetro y la instrumental de golpe. Y ahí así, igual que ahora, pero sin temáticas. Os tiráis vosotros, ¿de acuerdo?
Vale.
Lo dicho, mucho silencio, por favor. Todo el público que hay aquí, que no es nadie, ya sabéis, estamos con COVID. Mark, cuando quieras, a capela.
A capela. Eso no me gusta rapear con base aquí, en Alemania o en España.
Sí.
A mí me gusta siempre ir acompañado porque me siento muy solo cuando la jodida base no me acompaña.
Sí.
Ya, así lo hacemos, tronco. Somos los kings de todas esas reinas. Yo también quería rapear con base, pero rapeo con pandemia. También rapeo con el Mark. Tú lo sabes, brasileña parts, ¿eh? Mejor intenten valorarnos antes de hacernos un personaje en Valorant.
Rapeas con pandemia. Yo también estoy enfermo de esa mierda y no se me pasa. Tengo los ojos inyectados en sangre de no haber salido de casa. No tengo ganas ni de ir a comprar el puto pan. Pero bueno, mucho respeto para los que ya no están.
Ya volverán en otro mundo, que eso sí que renta. Volverán vuestros padres, vuestros abuelos y vuestras parientas. Pero aquí venimos a hablar de cosas que sí nos representan. Ya sabéis, en el Twitch, Mr. Ego 030.
Sí, bomba instrumental. Está el crono listo. Mark, ¿estás listo, Kay?
Estamos listos.
Yo, ¿cómo? Se lo damos en 3, 2, 1. Mark.
El puto Mark para enseñar lo que se cuece. Para que rapee bien y lo veas, me digas qué te parece. La batalla de la historia, al menos nos habremos enfrentado 700 veces.
Por lo menos, neno, vuelve el veneno del hardcore del terreno. A mí me da igual, tronco, yo me dreno como en la mano, hermano. ¿Has visto, tronco, como ya podemos? No hace falta tener las llamas para escupir puro fuego.
Dice ya podemos, pero el Marco sí se queja. Dice que podemos, no podemos y no dejan. Estamos rapeando tan tranquilos aquí, no puedes empezar a construir la casa por las tejas.
Eso es lo que hacemos en estos varios puntos. MR.ecos vario pinto extinto en este punto. Son mis propios asuntos. El asunto es que no podemos, depende de la voz que hay en asuntos.
Ese es el asunto. Estamos un poco cortados porque no se permiten los insultos. Y es lo que se nos da bien, es lo que se nos da bien. Aquí estamos rapeando al 50%.
Hasta que tenga que aprender taekwondo y cambien los insultos por los golpes tochos. Yo, aquí estamos tocho polvo. Yo tengo una mano que parecen 8.
Bueno, más bien tienes 2 que parecen una. Pero no pasa nada, no tengo lagunas. No me digan nada, hermano, que mucho peor sería no tener ninguna.
Como diría Mano Perro, así lo hacemos, primo. ¿Has visto cómo les encierro? Menos mal que mi estilo ya no se empalaga. Lo que me tengo que hacer, ya tengo a alguien que me las haga.
Ya tiene alguien que se las haga. Espero que no lo digas por mí, te saldrán llagas. ¿Quieres que nos insultemos? Salimos de aquí y nos jodemos.
Nos vamos al brasileña. Mi flow, has visto que no es una rima pequeña. MR.ego les diseña, les enseña contra la contraseña. No nos íbamos a insultar excepto por la letra pequeña.
Por la letra pequeña, lo siento. Si yo empiezo a rapear siempre te remato el centro. Tú te llevas sin duchar desde el año 500.
Yo, desde el año 500. Menos mal que después de eso cobramos 1.300. Así me compro una ducha nueva. Y puedo pagarle el recibo del agua a tu vieja.
Del agua a mi vieja, claro que sí. Si se lo pagas, entonces me quedaré contento. Del año 500, la distancia de seguridad con este jambo son 10 metros.
10 metros. Te pego una hostia que forma un epicentro. Es lo que tiene jugar a videojuegos, no me es problema. Entro en tu casa y tengo supernova en gemas.
Tienes supernova en gemas. Y si quieres, puedes tirar la moneda. Me la pela, eres el único que va de marca y dan ganas de tirarle monedas.
¡Última! Monedas. Pues si tantas tienes, luego invítame al brasileña. Fénix, tú no te vengas. Entonces entramos en quiebra.
Tiempo. Se nota que tiene hambre, mister. Muy bien, chavales. Veis, hasta el final. Esto es un deporte más. Se pegan, pero verbalmente, y después se quieren un montón. Así que ya sabéis, acá está mi hombre Fénix, mi hombre Mr. Ego, Mark y Eude. Ya sabéis, esto es Urban Rooster. Ya sabéis que el Madrid Urban Sports este año teníamos que haberla liado. De hecho, íbamos a hacer una BDM, pero bueno, quizá el año que viene nos vemos si nos deja el mundo. Esperemos que sí. Yo me despido desde aquí. Espero que os haya gustado un montón. A mí me ha encantado. Ha estado bonito. Ha estado divertido. Así que nada, seguimos con la programación de Madrid Urban Sport Virtual. Ya lo sabéis, chavales. Make it real. Hasta la próxima.
I love it when you kiss this.
Oh, wow. And we love Madrid. Welcome back to the last competition of Madrid Urban Sports virtual edition. It's the first one and a virtual one. I'm your host, Mathile Delorme, and this competition has been going on since the 11th of November on social media, online. You might have seen it. It's Urban World Series, and the hashtag is Madrid Urban Sports. We've had the quarterfinals played out there. Those of you who are watching, we've seen the semifinals. We'll have that decision later on in the program. You've made your predictions. We've heard you. We're going to go straight into it today. Semifinals. We're going to decide the winner for the bronze medal, and then the moment that we've all been waiting for here in this first new edition of virtual competition. Let's get into it. Today we have the skateboarding men's. It's the last competition, one of the most anticipated, might I say. So let's see what the men can offer us today. Wow, some world-class skaters you are seeing there and that you're about to see more of. I'll be joined today by 5 magnificent judges and ambassadors from the skating world, and none other than my favorite co-host, Mr. Kelly Hart, all the way from California. Kelly, welcome back for the last competition, men's skateboarding.
Hey, thanks for having me back. And I'm glad you're my favorite. That's really cool to hear.
For today, you're my only and my favorite for today.
That works. You know, as long as we have fun, it's all good.
I'm just joking. Kelly, I mean, what can we say about this men's final? The caliber of these skaters are just incredible. What can we expect to see here?
I mean, there's some heavy hitters. I have no idea what to expect right now. These guys can really pull off some amazing stuff. There's a skater of the year involved in this. This is going to be wild.
I mean, you and I were together not too long ago for the quarterfinals of this competition. Let's have a look at what happened there and who we'll see head-to-head battle it out in the semifinals and later on in the big final. Here we go. This is what we saw at the quarterfinals. Kelly, what were your thoughts around this?
Wow. I mean, the backside big spin, that was insanely big. I mean, they're all super clean. The frontside 360, that's in Laguna Beach. Shout out to Laguna Beach, my hometown. These guys really held it down. This Jamie Foy heel flip, I was surprised to see that because that's such like a unique spot. TJ is wild. That thing was huge. And then Aurelien, I feel like he did that first try, to be honest.
Yeah, a big...
Crazy tricks, yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible experience for these skaters to have an opportunity to compete virtually. It's the year before the Olympic year, before skateboarding becomes Olympic. A big year for these riders, and we're just blessed to have them on screen. We're going to travel around the world with them. That was the quarterfinals. Let's see what it looks like in a bracket and who's going to be head-to-head in the semis. Here we go. We've got Hoefler and Rabelo, and then Giraud and Joslin.
Wow, that's these guys are like heavy contest dudes as well, but I think these guys are also just as heavy in the streets, you know, so let's see what they bring.
And we are joined by none other than skateboard filmer extraordinaire and filmer himself, Anthony Claravall. Anthony, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I mean, you're one of the judges in this brand new online format. How was it for you to judge in this kind of virtual edition of skateboarding?
It's really awesome. Usually I see these skaters in a contest setting, like a real contest in an arena like Street League or Olympic qualifier. So it's really cool to see them in the street, filming tricks that would go like in a video part and, kind of getting to see that side of it.
I mean, you guys know each other quite well, right? Kelly, can you give us a little anecdote on Mr. Anthony here?
I mean, I grew up watching his videos in 4-in-1s. That's like what I grew up on. And I ended up making a video with him for LRG back in the day called Give Me Money Chico. Got to travel the world with him, and he showed me a lot, and he taught me a lot, and I'm very grateful. And to be doing this with him right now is pretty awesome.
I mean, the legend has it that you've been on the road for 20 years living on skateboarding. There he is, Anthony Claravall. He's joining us live today. So he judged this competition, and he's going to help us comment it live with 4 other judges. We had Vanessa earlier on for the females. Guys, what can you tell us about this array of judges?
I mean, I'll go ahead and say that I grew up watching all of them, and I think if they're going to choose the winner here, these are the right people to do it. What do you think, Anthony?
I mean, each of these people are like, kind of like pretty much have an impeccable pedigree. You know what I mean? Whether they're an amazing skateboarder, pro skater, or they've been in the industry and they're doing media or whatever, what have you. Each of these people, they know what's up. They know what good skateboarding is. They have done good skateboarding. They filmed amazing video parts, either in front or behind the camera. And like Kelly said, if somebody's going to judge, if somebody's going to judge a contest like this, these people that I'm lucky enough to join are definitely they know what they're doing.
All right, let's have a look at the format, shall we? Because it is a bit different to a traditional skateboarding competition. We've had 8 battles, battle it out head to head. Each rider must do a best trick we saw in quarterfinals, then battle it out for gap. Semifinals we're about to see, they're going to go for the line and the big final, and the position for the bronze medal will battle it out for rail. 5 judges will make those results. 1 you have right there on the bottom of the screen, Mr. Anthony. Shall we do it, guys? Let's see it. Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Yes, please. Let's see it.
All right, let's see it. Graphic of our 4 men semi-finalists. Here we go. Kelvin, Hoefler, and Lucas Rabelo, Aurelien, Giraud, and Chris Joslin. What a set of riders we have.
I mean, Aurelien and Joslin, that's a crazy lineup right there to battle it out. We'll see what's up with that one. And then we got Brazil on the other side. These guys are heavy contest dudes. Let's see. No idea what to expect. I can't believe that Lucas had a clip in Laguna Beach. I don't know where he's going to come, what his next spot's going to be.
I mean, what can we expect to see here from a rider like Lucas Rabelo really on a global scale against a talented rider like Kelvin?
I mean, I think Lucas, he just turned pro, you know what I mean? So he's maybe a little bit newer than some of these guys. All the other guys, like obviously Chris Joslin, Kelvin are kind of veterans, especially contest veterans. And Aurelien maybe had maybe 1 year, more than Lucas. But Lucas has been skating and been sponsored since he was a kid. He's an animal, you know what I mean? And you could tell from his first clip, I was really, really surprised. His stuff is really, really proper. He probably was the one person that was all right, dude, I'm gonna fucking do this.
All right, and okay, if we had to describe Mr. Kelvin Hoefler in one word, what would it be?
Consistent.
Gnarly? Yeah.
Consistent and gnarly. Should we get to it then?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Let's head into our first semi-final of this men's skateboarding, Madrid Urban Sports. Let's see them skate.
Wow. What a different type of blind, 2 different types of lines. It's hard to compare. How did you judge that one, Anthony?
I mean, for me, it was it really depends on the skater, for Kelvin, definitely there was power. It was a good, kind of mix. It was a, rail trick, flat ground, but it was kind of more it didn't surprise me. You know what I mean? Like going into it, I know how good he is. With Lucas's line was a little bit, you know, like I didn't really know what was coming. So that to me kind of stood out more. You know what I mean? So you know, in Kelvin's in Kelvin's line was more like, you know, it was like, okay, cool, like that totally makes sense. Like the line, the spot, everything, you know, how he skates, it kind of made sense. And Lucas's kind of was a little bit out of left field. It was more surprising.
Yeah, never seen the half cab heel nose slide to back tail before.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it was funny to see like Kelvin backlip the rail and then like he'll go over a sandal at the end.
Yeah, that was so like that was the most surprising part about it. Because everything else was like super textbook, super solid. You know, definitely good. There's nothing wrong with it. But like I said, Lucas's line was a little bit more like, okay, you know, like you said, like I'd never really seen that. You know?
Alrighty, let's see what our judges had to think. Different format today. It's one or the other. They had one choice. Let's see what their decision was. Ooh, Rabelo, Hoefler.
Oh wow!
Are we surprised, Kelly?
A little surprised, yeah. I mean, they're both really good lines. One trick in that line was, or in both of those lines, one of those tricks was never been done before in my eyes. So it was interesting to see the decision like that. But both amazing lines and done well.
And Anthony, you chose Rabelo there. Why did you choose Rabelo? And what kind of skater is he for you?
I mean, I guess basically Kelly said it right first, is that like, you know, he did a trick that like I've never really seen. You know, he did it really good. You know, it was kind of like out of left field. It was a little bit surprising. While Kelvin's tricks were perfect, they were super solid. But there was, you know, it kind of like I kind of saw that coming basically. So the element of surprise for Lucas was what pointed me in his direction.
Hoefler will be our first finalist. Who will join him? Let's see in our second final of the men's skateboarding Madrid Urban Sports. Let's see it.
What do you think, Claravall? I mean, hey, to be honest, I'll be straight up honest with you guys on this. Straight up watching it, these guys are like way better than these lines.
Yeah, I think the filming came out a lot more in these lines too. I mean, I don't know if you agree, Kelly. Chris's line was filmed like way better, so it made it look better. You know what I mean? The tricks, you know, I mean, he did everything with power. Aurelien's was, you know, a little bit, you know, like the filming wasn't as hot, so I think it affected how the tricks looked. You know, and so for me, you know, I went with like, you know, what's the most appealing, you know, with everything, and you know, I think that was Joslin.
Yeah, I'll agree. I think watching the footage, the filming on the tray flip looked great. Smith all up, super close fisheye. That matters in street footage, you know, and I think that totally makes sense.
Alrighty, let's see who the judges had to pick and who will join Kelvin in the final of this men's skateboarding competition, Madrid Urban Sports. Oh, all right. I mean, it's pretty unanimous for Joslin.
Yeah, I think what Claravall said. That's what a lot of.
Is it too late? Is it too late to change my score?
You just want to even it out, Anthony?
No. It's yeah. I mean, I'm sorry for interrupting, but yeah, I think if it's like 4-1, then it's pretty obvious. Like you know, I think it's like it's a really good indicator of which one is better.
Are we surprised with this?
I mean, I think it makes sense. I think if you look at the tricks, though, I think Aurelien's tricks might be more technical, but the way everything was put together in the line, I think that Joslin's looked better.
There we have it. It'll be Kelvin, Hoefler and Joslin battling out for the final of this men's skateboarding competition. But it's not over yet. We have a spot for the bronze medalist. Should we get into it? Battle for third.
Let's see it.
All right, we have Aurelien, Giraud, and Lucas Rabelo. I mean, the French rider, and as you were saying, Anthony, young Lucas Rabelo went pro young. I mean, what can you guys tell us about these two riders that we have here?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Aurelien is also like an amazing young talent with a lot to go. A lot to come in the future. They're just two young bucks, fresh and ready to do it. Like two of my favorite skaters. Lucas for sure. Fucking one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's pretty rad to see that they both coming up at the same time, the same age. They both turned pro. They're here killing it. So, yeah.
I want to see a full video part from Aurelien. He has amazing stuff, like amazing Instagram clips. Like live at contests, he's insane. You know what I mean? So that makes me really want to see him put out like a full video part. And I want to see him, ollie the 25 stair in Leon, and I want to see him do all of that.
All right, let's get into it. We have one spot for third. Let's do it. Who will be crowned with the bronze medal at this men's skateboarding final? Let's see them skate.
Damn.
I mean, for me, that Lucas trick was fire. You know what I mean? It was the same thing. It kind of went back to it was filmed really well. It was kind of came out of nowhere, and the trick was really dope.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong on Lucas's trick. That's for sure.
Was that in Laguna?
It's in Los Angeles, close. But Aurelien's trick was awesome because, nose blending a rail, you see a lot of people do that, but when you actually lock into the rail like that, is pretty awesome as well. But I gotta say, Lucas's trick is just, there's only maybe a handful of people in the world that could do that trick.
All right.
I mean, that trick was, that's something that would go in your video part. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And to me, that means that it's worthy and it's a good one.
All right, well, let's see what the judges had to say and who will be crowned with the bronze medal. It's between Giraud and Rabelo. The spot for third place. Oh, wow.
Yep.
I think it says it all, right?
Yeah, I think what you said, Anthony, about these tricks, they were in their video part, and that's showcase it right. I think that's what wins this contest almost,
And there we have our third position. Now, before we get into the big final, the moment we've all been waiting for, men's champion of skateboard, we are joined by none other than Mr. Colin Mckay and his cat. Colin, welcome. And what's the cat's name?
This is Lil Pete. And yeah, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Little Pete, where are you joining us from today?
I'm in sunny Carlsbad, California.
Alrighty, and you're joined by your cat.
Yeah.
Does he help you out judging competitions?
He's a purist. He's a street purist, so he's going to be the harshest judge of everyone today, I think.
Colin, you've been around for a long time. I mean, have you ever seen an online format like this one for a skateboarding competition?
This is no, never a live one like this. No, just online contest that people vote on, but never one live like this. It's really cool.
All right, and in your opinion, how would you define these two finalists that we have head to head today?
Both incredible skaters. It was cool seeing Chris go against Aurelien, and then that Lucas trick. I just want to say that front three, front board. is incredible. So just the way things lined up, like that trick could have won the whole contest. So, but these two guys in the finals, both incredible skaters. Excited to see what they have.
Alrighty. Well, let's see them. There's one spot left. We're almost there. One skater will be crowned champion of this new online format. Let's see them. All right, and here we have it. Kelvin Hoefler and Chris Joslin will battle it out head to head at Madrid Urban Sports virtual edition. Let's see them skate. Are we ready? Let's do it.
Some big rails and hubbas.
I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy how it ended up being like the same trick too. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, right? Yeah. The two like
very similar.
How do you judge it, Anthony? Like a gap to rail, or like just a big hubba? You know, similar type tricks.
I mean, it was really tough. You know, like Kelly said, it was. I mean, it's basically kind of the same trick. You know what I mean? Like very similar. So I kind of just went back to, you know, which trick I would rather see, or I would maybe appreciate more in a video part. And so, you know, for me, just the hubba was just, it seemed bigger, taller, like gnarlier. You know, the gap to rail, you know, the gap added a different factor into it, but the rail was a little bit smaller. You know, so I thought that the hubba was kind of took it. And it was in some ways easier, in some ways harder, because it was really similar tricks.
Colin, what do you think on these two tricks? Which one had the most difficulty?
Yeah, I'm with Anthony. Filming's going to play a big part in this, but that hubba is just a lot taller, a lot bigger. That rail looks a little small, but I'm going to give it to the hubba just this size. I think that's going to be a lot gnarlier to try.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see like a big hubba like that getting crooked, and like you've never seen that spot before in videos. Like he's the first one to hit it. I've seen the gap trail a few times, and yeah, it is long, but it's like, yeah, just not as like tall, and it just actually looks really steep in the footage, to be honest. But both gnarly, and I'm curious to see what the judges put together right here.
Let's see it. Let's see what the judges had to say. There's only one spot left. There are 5 judges. Anthony is joining us right there in the middle. He is one of them. Let's see who will be crowned winner of Urban World Series Madrid Urban Sports. Here we go. Oh
wow.
Colin, you look surprised.
I'm surprised. I mean, both great tricks, but I just think Joslin's is gnarlier in out of these two. I think Joslin took it, but both dope tricks.
So was I the only one who voted for Chris on that one?
Yeah.
So I guess I mean, it goes back to the last one. I mean, if 4 of the judges say, you know, Kelvin, so then I guess that's it. You know, won fair and square. I mean, just for me, I did think that that Joslin's trick was gnarlier.
All right. Well, it's Mr. Kelvin Hoefler. He is about to join us with all these magnificent people here on the screen. I mean, this is just such a talented board. Kelvin, congratulations on your win. Hello, welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys? Damn, man,
Congrats,
I'm
man.
really surprised, you know. Man, I'm really happy about it. My first time, like, competing, like, that type, like, event, you know. But, yeah, man, thanks so much for the opportunity, and I'm a big fan, like, of all you guys and all the skaters.
I mean, you guys must have a series of questions for Kelvin, right? And competing in this new online format. Who wants to start?
I mean, I'll go forward first. What? Congratulations, by the way. What was the process of going to film these tricks going into this contest?
You know, man, it was really hard because I'm doing like a monster part, so it was kind of like really difficult, like to bring like more tricks to this event, you know. So and find like a spot too, because like needs to be like a gap, like a line and a rail. So it's really hard to think like a spot, you know, to go. But Bryce here, come on. This guy here, like, helped me a lot. This dude.
Oh,
Bryce,
hell yeah, Bryce. Yeah, what up, dude?
Bryce helped me a lot. This dude is the man, you know?
Sick.
So, yeah, man.
Anthony.
Yeah, I think that kind of that says a lot, you know what I mean? Like, you know, Kelvin, amazing skateboarder, you know, congrats. And then if you have a filmer you're comfortable with, that's someone who's like, you know, also gonna bring, you know, his A game or try to make you look as good as possible. That's a perfect match, and that's how you look good. You know what I mean? It's like, it's definitely like you know, the spot, the skater, and the filming, I think is gonna make, you know, something gold.
True.
Definitely.
Colin, any parting words? I mean, he's got his filmer living with him right there. What do you have to say?
Yeah, I just want to say great job. Congratulations, Kelvin. Great skating.
Thanks, Colin. Big fan, man. I appreciated that. Hell yeah.
What are you going to do with the money?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Buy King.
Buy Bryce a good dinner, man.
Bro,
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy good stuff for Bryce for sure.
Yeah. Valeu.
You deserve it.
Congrats.
All right, all these magnificent people. Thank you so much, Kelvin, and congratulations again on your win. See you soon. We really hope to see you next year in person here at the Madrid Urban Sports Virtual Edition. And thank you to our men's champion, Kelvin, and these magnificent people that we have on screen today. A burst of talent. Guys, thank you so much. I mean, any parting words for this new format of men's skateboarding?
Thanks for having us. It's honestly a really big pleasure to be on this with you guys. I've been a big fan my whole life, and for the next year for this contest, invite me back to Madrid to be there in person if it's safe, and I'd love to. I love this, and congratulations to Kelvin and everyone skating in it.
We would love to have you here, Kelly. Anthony, so you're already on home soil. You're in Barcelona. How's everything going for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm here in Barcelona. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to Madrid on this trip, so I definitely want to be, you know, there next year when you do have it live again. But I just want to say thank you for having me, and you know, it was like it was kind of a new experience, and definitely an honor to see this. And I'm just stoked that it was like a real international, you know, kind of group of skaters. It was kids from like all over the world and like all really different styles. So I was really hyped, and I think that like, especially with the women, I think the level is just gonna get gnarlier and gnarlier. You know what I mean? So it's like it's really good. It's like, it's cool to see something that's really street for the women. You know, when it's not just like a contest in an arena and like that. I want to see all these amazing girl skaters. Like I want to see them like, you know, put out video parts. So this is a good step towards that.
There is certainly plenty ahead for them. And Colin, your cat has disappeared, but we'll say goodbye to him later. Later on. Colin, you're a legend in the sport, and really curious. I mean, skateboarding's moving ahead so fast. It's going to become Olympic next year. What are your thoughts on the movement of the sport, on its exposure on a world scale next year, how the sport's traveling as a whole, this whole new online format? I mean, really, we just want to hear what you have to say.
Just thank you for having me. Thank you guys for doing this. It's dope that you guys are going to give these guys something to do. Congratulations to everyone that participated in this. Stoked for skateboarding to be going forward, to be in the Olympics. I don't think skateboarding will ever lose sight of what we're all really doing here. And yeah, stoked to be a part of this. Thanks for having me. I'd love to be a part of it live next year in Madrid.
We'd be so happy to have all three of you back. Thank you so much once more for being with us today. And goodbye. See you very soon.
Thank you so much.
Three wonderful people we had joining us for the men's skateboarding final. And let's have a look at the podium here. This is what we just saw. We saw the bronze medal go to Mr. Lucas Rabelo. Silver went to Chris Joslin. And the man you just saw on the screen, Mr. Kelvin Hoefler, took the gold medal. That is the final podium of the first edition of Madrid Urban Sports, and that is it. It's been a wild ride since 11th of November. You've been all over social media. We've heard you. You've been vocal. A brand new online format. It's a very different way of hosting a competition, and we'll hope to see all you lovely people here next year for a real physical event, fingers crossed, of Madrid Urban Sports. In the meantime, don't forget hashtag Madrid Urban Sports. Comment on what you saw here. Let us know what you thought. The handle is Urban World Series. Talk to us. We want to hear you there. I'm your host, Mathile Delorme. Thank you and see you soon.
When you kiss this